Una mente en paz consigo misma, de Byron Katie. ¿Te imaginas vivir cada día con una paz inquebrantable, sin ser prisionero de los pensamientos que generan estrés, miedo o tristeza? Una mente en paz consigo misma te muestra cómo lograrlo. Este libro, basado en las enseñanzas de lo que Katie llama el trabajo, propone un camino sencillo pero poderoso para liberar la mente de creencias limitantes y encontrar una claridad transformadora. Byron Katie, autora y mentora espiritual, encontró su misión de vida tras una experiencia de despertar que cambió radicalmente su perspectiva. Pasó de ser una mujer atrapada en la desesperación y el sufrimiento a una maestra de la paz interior, dedicada a ayudar a millones de personas en el mundo a liberarse del dolor mental. Su propósito es claro: enseñar a cuestionar pensamientos negativos y revelar la bondad y la serenidad que siempre han estado dentro de nosotros. Quédate hasta el final de este análisis y resumen del libro por capítulos, porque descubrirás herramientas prácticas y profundas historias que pueden cambiar la forma en que ves la vida. Y si este contenido te inspira, no olvides suscribirte para seguir explorando libros y enseñanzas que transforman nuestra forma de vivir. Comenzamos. El prefacio de Una mente en paz consigo misma introduce el enfoque principal del libro: cómo alcanzar una generosidad incondicional a través de la autoindagación y el cuestionamiento de pensamientos estresantes. Según Katie, este estado de generosidad no es un ideal inalcanzable, sino una cualidad natural que emerge al liberar la mente de pensamientos confusos. El texto se centra en el método de Katie que llama el trabajo, una herramienta que consiste en cuestionar pensamientos mediante 4 preguntas fundamentales, lo que conduce a una transformación personal y a una conexión profunda con la realidad. Katie comparte su extraordinaria experiencia de transformación personal. Antes de su despertar, vivió años de profunda depresión, autodesprecio y aislamiento. En 1986, mientras se encontraba en un centro de rehabilitación, tuvo una revelación. Entendió que el sufrimiento proviene de creer pensamientos que contradicen la realidad. Este despertar cambió radicalmente su vida, transformándola en una persona llena de paz y alegría. Desde entonces, ha dedicado su vida a compartir el trabajo, ayudando a millones de personas a superar el estrés y la confusión emocional. El libro está estructurado en torno al Sutra del Diamante, un texto espiritual que enfatiza la ausencia del yo. Katie conecta las enseñanzas del sutra con su método, mostrando que al cuestionar nuestras creencias más arraigadas, el ego y la separación desaparecen, dando paso a una generosidad y paz innatas. Según ella, la verdadera iluminación no es un estado místico, sino la capacidad de liberarse de pensamientos estresantes y experimentar la realidad tal como es. El prefacio detalla cómo Katie utilizó el trabajo en los años posteriores a su despertar para cuestionar sistemáticamente sus pensamientos y disolver creencias dañinas. Esta práctica la llevó a una claridad y equilibrio profundos, permitiéndole amar todo tal como es. Aunque su experiencia inicial fue intensa, Katie aprendió a adaptarse y comunicar su entendimiento de manera práctica y accesible. Como resultado, desarrolló un método que cualquier persona puede usar para encontrar libertad interior. El coautor Stephen Mitchell resalta el reto de capturar la experiencia y las enseñanzas de Katie en palabras. Describe su tarea como ordenar grillos, ya que la claridad de Katie desafía cualquier intento de definición o estructura. El texto también compara su despertar con el de figuras como Ramana Maharshi, subrayando la singularidad y espontaneidad de su experiencia. En el prefacio también se incluyen historias personales de Katie, que ilustran cómo su transformación impactó su vida cotidiana y las de quienes la rodeaban. Estas narraciones destacan lo radical de su cambio, así como la aplicación práctica de su enseñanza en el día a día. Finalmente, esta introducción subraya que el trabajo es más que una técnica de autoayuda, es un camino hacia la autorrealización y la verdadera libertad. Katie invita a los lectores a no creer ciegamente en sus palabras, sino a experimentar por sí mismos el poder de cuestionar sus pensamientos. Así, una mente en paz consigo misma se presenta como una guía práctica para liberar la mente y vivir en armonía con la realidad. En el capítulo 1, llamado La broma cósmica, se explora la naturaleza ilusoria de la realidad y la generosidad como un estado natural del ser cuando se comprende esta verdad. Byron inicia el capítulo con una anécdota sobre el Buda mendigando su comida, destacando su humildad y su profunda comprensión de la naturaleza del universo. Según Katie, el Buda no veía su acto como una necesidad, sino como una oportunidad para que otros practicaran la generosidad. Este gesto simboliza la conexión esencial entre todos los seres y la ausencia del ego. Katie redefine conceptos tradicionales como Buda y monje. Para ella, Buda no solo representa sabiduría, sino también una generosidad espontánea y sin límites que surge al despertar a la realidad. Del mismo modo, interpreta monje no como alguien recluido en un monasterio, sino como cualquier persona que ha entendido que no existe un yo separado. Esta comprensión elimina la necesidad de proteger o defender una identidad personal. Katie relata cómo su experiencia de despertar en 1986 cambió radicalmente su percepción del mundo. Despertó a la comprensión de que todo sufrimiento provenía de discutir con la realidad a través de pensamientos erróneos. Su despertar la llevó a ver la vida como un sueño donde no hay un yo ni un tú. Esta realización inicial llena de gozo la hizo sentir como una bombilla andante, completamente libre de apego y posesión. En su estado post-despertar, Katie experimentó una pérdida total de identidad. No conocía a su esposo ni a sus hijos, ni entendía conceptos como propiedad. Esto la llevó a interactuar con el mundo desde una inocencia similar a la de un niño, confiando plenamente en la bondad inherente de las personas. A pesar de sus comportamientos inusuales, como entrar en casas ajenas creyendo que eran suyas, las personas la trataban con amabilidad, reflejando la conexión humana fundamental que ella percibía. Katie reflexiona sobre la dificultad de comunicar estas verdades universales. Intentó inicialmente expresar conceptos como no hay nada o solo hay uno, pero pronto entendió que estas palabras no podían capturar la profundidad de su experiencia. Descubrió que la realidad está más allá de las palabras y que incluso tratar de explicarla es alejarse de ella. La autora conecta esta comprensión con el acto de Buda de mendigar, que considera un símbolo de generosidad y gratitud absolutas. Katie ve la vida como un flujo continuo de generosidad, donde cada interacción es una oportunidad para dar y recibir desde el amor. Para ella la generosidad surge naturalmente cuando se comprende que no hay un yo que poseer o proteger. Finalmente, Katie invita al lector a cuestionar sus pensamientos y a encontrar esta misma paz interior a través de su método, el trabajo. Según ella, la libertad está al alcance de todos cuando dejamos de creer en pensamientos que nos separan de la realidad. La vida, dice, es una broma cósmica, un sueño donde todo fluye en perfecta armonía si aprendemos a verlo sin resistencias. En el segundo capítulo llamado Hacer una reverencia a un grano de arena, Katie reflexiona sobre la historia del monje Subhuti, quien en el Sutra del Diamante muestra reverencia al Buda y pregunta cómo alcanzar la iluminación. Katie ve este diálogo como un encuentro entre el yo y el no yo, destacando que todo en el universo está interconectado y que cualquier reverencia hacia otro es, en última instancia, una reverencia hacia uno mismo. Katie relaciona esta reverencia con la humildad y la gratitud, sugiriendo que deberíamos mostrar el mismo respeto hacia cualquier elemento del mundo, incluso a un simple grano de arena. Para ella, el grano de arena simboliza la constancia, paciencia y generosidad incondicional, cualidades que debemos aspirar a encarnar. En este estado, la mente se vacía de juicios y se llena de una reverencia interna infinita. Subhuti pregunta al Buda cómo controlar la mente, una cuestión que Katie considera profundamente errónea. Según ella, la mente no puede controlarse, solo puede observarse y cuestionarse. Intentar dominarla genera sufrimiento, mientras que recibirla con comprensión permite fluir con la realidad. Katie describe la mente como un niño que busca atención, y nuestro papel es discernir entre pensamientos útiles y aquellos que nos causan dolor. El capítulo también aborda el papel de los pensamientos estresantes. Katie explica que estos no son personales ni nuevos, sino patrones universales que se reciclan. A través del trabajo, un proceso de cuestionamiento, es posible desarmar estos pensamientos, lo que transforma la percepción y elimina el sufrimiento. Ella comparte un ejemplo práctico en el que un hombre cuestiona su enojo hacia un socio, logrando cambiar su perspectiva y encontrar paz. Katie concluye que la verdadera libertad surge al cuestionar la mente, no al controlarla, y al reconocer que todos los pensamientos y experiencias son reflejos de nuestra propia conciencia. En este estado, el mundo se percibe con gratitud y amor incondicional. En el capítulo 3 llamado El momento radiante, Katie explora el concepto del bodhisattva y la iluminación, desafiando ideas tradicionales. Según el Sutra del Diamante, un bodhisattva busca liberar a todos los seres antes de entrar al nirvana. Katie encuentra este juramento confuso, ya que postula una separación entre el bodhisattva y los demás seres, una dualidad que contradice la realidad última. Para Katie, no hay otros que salvar ni un nirvana al que entrar. Todos ya están libres, aunque no sean conscientes de ello. Katie explica que todo sufrimiento surge de creencias erróneas y de una percepción limitada de la realidad. La iluminación no es un objetivo futuro, sino un estado presente accesible al cuestionar pensamientos dolorosos. Según ella, creer que la iluminación es algo que se logra más tarde es un truco noble del ego, que perpetúa la ilusión del tiempo y la separación. En su lugar, la verdadera iluminación consiste en liberar cada pensamiento estresante en el momento en que aparece. El capítulo enfatiza que toda experiencia, incluidos los seres sensibles y el sufrimiento, existe dentro de la mente. Cuando se despierta la realidad, uno comprende que la mente crea tanto al soñador como al sueño. Katie afirma que cualquier concepto, incluso la iluminación, es una etiqueta que subestima la verdad, ya que agrega una identidad donde no debería haber ninguna. Katie invita a los lectores a cuestionar los pensamientos que causan dolor, como lo hace en el trabajo. Describe la iluminación no como un estado trascendental, sino como una ausencia de sufrimiento al desmantelar creencias. La verdadera generosidad, dice, no implica sacrificio, sino la paz de vivir sin separación ni apego. El capítulo concluye con una enseñanza clave, y es que si un pensamiento duele, cuestiónalo. La iluminación está en el ahora, accesible para todos, siempre. En el capítulo 4 llamado Dar es recibir, Katie reflexiona sobre las enseñanzas del Buda sobre la verdadera generosidad. Según el Sutra del Diamante, el Buda enseña que los bodhisattvas deben practicar la generosidad sin apegarse a la idea de estar siendo generosos. Esta generosidad pura, sin apego a conceptos o expectativas, genera un mérito incalculable, al igual que la vastedad infinita del espacio. Katie enfatiza que la verdadera generosidad surge naturalmente cuando no hay un yo que reclame el mérito del acto. Explica que dar y recibir son lo mismo porque ambos fluyen desde un estado de conexión con la realidad. Una acción genuinamente generosa no tiene conciencia de sí misma, simplemente ocurre, como una madre que alimenta a su hijo sin pensar que está haciendo un sacrificio. Katie comparte una experiencia de su infancia en la que regaló una campana que amaba a una amiga simplemente porque vio que ella la deseaba. Más tarde, su madre le hizo recuperarla, enseñándole una lección sobre posesiones, pero también despertando en Katie un sentimiento de vergüenza. Este recuerdo ilustra cómo los conceptos de mío y tuyo son aprendidos y cómo, al liberarnos de ellos, la generosidad se convierte en un estado natural del ser. Después de su despertar en 1986, Katie dejó de experimentar la sensación de poseer cosas. Los regalos que recibía los pasaba inmediatamente a otros. Para ella, este desprendimiento no es una práctica intencional, sino una expresión de su naturaleza sin historias. En su visión, la generosidad es la forma más pura de amor hacia uno mismo, porque todo lo que damos a los demás, en realidad, nos lo damos a nosotros mismos. El capítulo concluye con una poderosa reflexión. Al reconocer que el sufrimiento ajeno es una proyección de nuestro propio sufrimiento, podemos servir a los demás desde un lugar de claridad, no de lástima. En última instancia, al aliviar el sufrimiento de los demás, estamos sanándonos a nosotros mismos, porque todos somos uno. En el capítulo 5 llamado Budas cotidianos, Katie explora las enseñanzas del Buda sobre la ilusión de las formas físicas. El Buda enseña a Subhuti que el Buda no puede ser identificado por características físicas, ya que todo lo que tiene forma es ilusorio. Reconocer al Buda, entonces, no es sobre ver algo externo, sino sobre entender la naturaleza ilusoria de todas las cosas. Katie amplía esta idea al explicar que el cuerpo humano, al igual que cualquier forma física, es una proyección de la mente. Percibimos nuestro cuerpo y el mundo como imágenes mentales que ya son parte del pasado, incluso si ocurrieron hace un instante. Todo lo que experimentamos es una película, proyectada por nuestra mente, y creer que estas proyecciones son reales nos lleva a la confusión y al sufrimiento. Katie comparte anécdotas personales, como un accidente en el que rompió un parabrisas con su cabeza, pero experimentó alegría en lugar de dolor. Estas experiencias, aunque extremas, ilustran cómo el dolor y la realidad son interpretaciones mentales. Katie también explica que cualquier cosa percibida por la mente despierta puede ser vista como hermosa, ya que todo es un reflejo de la mente misma. El capítulo concluye con la idea de que la verdadera iluminación no se encuentra en grandes gestos o prácticas extraordinarias, sino en la simplicidad de las tareas cotidianas. Según Katie, lavar los platos o barrer el suelo con plena presencia son actos tan espirituales como meditar en una cueva. La iluminación está disponible para todos, aquí y ahora, en lo común y corriente. En el capítulo 6, llamado La mente es todo, la mente es buena, el Buda destaca cómo las personas maduras pueden alcanzar una clara visión de la verdad simplemente al escuchar y meditar sobre sus palabras. Estas personas no se apegan a conceptos de separación como yo y otro, ni siquiera a la negación de las cosas. El Buda compara sus enseñanzas con una balsa, útil solo para atravesar el río del sufrimiento hacia la libertad, pero que debe abandonarse al llegar a la otra orilla. Katie amplía esta enseñanza explicando que cada pensamiento es un Buda, mostrándonos qué no creer. Las personas maduras hacen una reverencia interna a cada pensamiento, permitiendo que se disuelva en la nada. Katie relata su experiencia tras despertar a la realidad, un estado de continuo asombro y paz, donde las acciones ocurren sin esfuerzo y el pasado y el futuro son irrelevantes. El capítulo destaca que el sufrimiento surge del apego a conceptos y de la imposición de pensamientos sobre la realidad. A través de la autoindagación, como las 4 preguntas de El trabajo, la mente encuentra comprensión y libera sus propios juicios. Con el tiempo, esta práctica se vuelve natural y los pensamientos estresantes pierden su poder, revelando la bondad inherente de todo. El mensaje esencial es que no hay separación entre yo y otro, ni entre realidad e ilusión. La mente consciente de sí misma reconoce que todo es pura gracia y la paz es alcanzable al soltar conceptos y vivir en el presente. En el capítulo 7, llamado Sentirse en paz con lo cotidiano, el Buda afirma que no existe tal cosa como la iluminación ni una enseñanza que él puede ofrecer. La verdad no puede ser comprendida ni explicada, simplemente es. Subhuti confirma que las personas maduras saben que no hay nada que saber, y cualquier búsqueda de iluminación es una ilusión creada por la mente. Katie profundiza en esta idea al señalar que conceptos como iluminación o enseñanza suponen la existencia de un yo separado que pueda alcanzar o transmitir algo. Sin embargo, en la realidad última no hay separación, no hay un maestro, un alumno ni una enseñanza. La verdadera paz se encuentra en lo cotidiano, en aceptar la vida tal como es, sin conceptos de superioridad o inferioridad. La mente búdica, según Katie, ya está completa y no necesita iluminación ni esfuerzo. Todo lo que existe es la historia que aparece ahora, y cuando la indagación cuestiona los pensamientos que causan sufrimiento, la mente se libera, mostrando que nunca hubo nada que buscar o alcanzar. La búsqueda de iluminación, aunque parece un esfuerzo, es en realidad el ego tratando de liberarse de sí mismo. Katie concluye que las enseñanzas, aunque útiles, son meras ilusiones que pueden señalar hacia la verdad, pero no son la verdad en sí misma. Llegar a casa significa vivir sin comparaciones ni juicios, simplemente fluyendo con lo que es, en total paz con lo común y corriente. En el capítulo 8, llamado La generosidad suprema, Buda compara 2 tipos de mérito, el de donar riquezas inconmensurables y el de comprender y vivir la enseñanza del Sutra del Diamante. Aunque la generosidad material parece significativa, el Buda aclara que el mérito real está en la comprensión de la verdadera naturaleza de la mente. Esta enseñanza, que revela que no existe un yo ni un otro, ofrece un regalo incomparable, la suprema generosidad. Katie expande esta idea explicando que todo lo que percibimos es una proyección de nuestra propia mente. La mente crea el yo y el otro, junto con todas las historias e identidades que construimos alrededor de ellos. Al cuestionar estos pensamientos, comprendemos que no somos nuestras historias, sino conciencia pura. Esto lleva a un amor supremo, el amor de la mente por sí misma. El Buda afirma que no hay nada más valioso que comprender esta verdad, porque elimina el sufrimiento al revelar que todo es una ilusión. Incluso conceptos como mérito, identidad o muerte pierden su significado. La mente que se despierta a esta realidad fluye libremente, sin apegarse a nada, dando todo de sí misma como un recipiente sin fondo. Katie concluye que esta comprensión nos lleva a soltar las proyecciones y juicios, permitiéndonos ver todo como un reflejo de nosotros mismos. Amar al prójimo es amar la mente que lo proyecta. Al final, toda percepción de separación desaparece, y lo único que queda es la paz de la mente libre. En el capítulo 9, llamado El amor regresa a buscarse a sí mismo, Buda explora la idea de los niveles espirituales, como Rotapana, Sakdagamin, Anagamin y Arat. A través de un diálogo con Subhuti, revela que estos conceptos son ilusorios, porque no hay un yo que pueda alcanzar algo. La iluminación, lejos de ser un logro, es simplemente el reconocimiento de que no hay separación ni identidad fija. Katie amplía esta enseñanza al explicar que cualquier intento de medir el progreso espiritual es en sí mismo una trampa del ego. Ya somos lo que aspiramos a ser. El problema surge de creer en la ilusión del yo y de un futuro en el que seremos diferentes. La indagación rompe estas creencias, llevándonos de vuelta al momento presente, donde la claridad y la paz siempre han estado disponibles. Katie describe la iluminación como el reconocimiento de que no hay un estado permanente, solo el presente. No despertamos para siempre, despertamos ahora, en cada instante. La felicidad surge al cuestionar los pensamientos estresantes, liberándonos de la identificación con un yo limitado. El capítulo subraya que el verdadero desapego no consiste en renunciar a las cosas o personas, sino en dejar de creer en las historias que contamos sobre ellas. Al final, no hay nada que perder, porque todo lo que creíamos poseer era una ilusión. Vivir sin un yo permite experimentar la vida como un flujo constante de bondad, sin apego ni sufrimiento. En el capítulo 10, llamado Vivir con la indagación, Buda subraya que no hay nada que alcanzar, ni siquiera la iluminación. Al reflexionar sobre su aprendizaje con el Buda Dipankara, reconoce que no obtuvo nada, destacando que cualquier logro espiritual es ilusorio, ya que todo lo que necesitamos ya está presente. Las ideas de hermoso o verdad son meras etiquetas, vacías de sustancia real. El consejo central del Buda, desarrolla una mente que no resida en ninguna parte, es clave. Significa que la mente no debe depender de percepciones sensoriales ni pensamientos. La mente pura y lúcida está libre de apego, abierta a todo y sin necesidad de posarse en nada. Es anterior a cualquier cosa que percibe, y al no creer en las categorías de bello o feo, todo se experimenta como bello y bueno. Katie amplifica esta enseñanza mostrando que el sufrimiento surge de creer en pensamientos no cuestionados. La indagación nos ayuda a ver que nuestras percepciones del mundo reflejan nuestra mente. Al cuestionar nuestras creencias, la mente deja de engañarse a sí misma y encuentra la paz. La iluminación no es un logro, sino una pérdida. Pérdida de creencias, identidades y apegos. La indagación transforma cada pensamiento en una pregunta, rompiendo el ciclo del sufrimiento. Vivir con esta claridad permite experimentar la vida como un fluir constante, libre de limitaciones, donde la mente no necesita residir en ningún lugar porque comprende que nunca existió realmente. En el capítulo 11, llamado El regalo de la crítica, el Buda introduce la idea de un mérito inmenso para aquellos que comprenden y viven las enseñanzas del Sutra del Diamante, incluso más grande que el de alguien que dona riquezas inconmensurables. Katie amplía esta enseñanza al destacar la importancia de la crítica como herramienta para la autorrealización. La crítica, explica, es un regalo invaluable porque revela lo que aún no hemos visto en nosotros mismos. Como todos son reflejos de nuestra mente, cualquier juicio que recibimos proviene de nosotros mismos. En lugar de resistirse o defenderse, invita a usar la crítica como una oportunidad para indagar, encontrar la verdad y mantenernos conectados con nuestra naturaleza esencial. Katie enfatiza que el sufrimiento surge de resistir la realidad y creer pensamientos estresantes. Cuestionar esos pensamientos permite liberar el sufrimiento y vivir en paz. La felicidad, según ella, no proviene de circunstancias externas, sino de la claridad interna. Es un estado natural de aceptación y amor por lo que es. Finalmente, resalta que nadie puede herirnos más que nosotros mismos al creer pensamientos negativos sobre la crítica o las personas que la emiten. La indagación nos libera, transformando la crítica en una herramienta para despertar y encontrar paz en cualquier situación. Así, cada comentario se convierte en una oportunidad para crecer y abrazar la verdad de nuestra propia naturaleza. En el capítulo 12, llamado Enseñarle al gato a ladrar, Buda explica que encarnar las enseñanzas del Sutra del Diamante y vivir en perfecta claridad transforma la vida de una persona. Katie relaciona este concepto con nuestras tendencias a discutir con la realidad y a querer cambiar a los demás, lo cual es tan infructuoso como intentar enseñar a un gato a ladrar. Katie enfatiza que tratar de cambiar a las personas o controlar la realidad genera sufrimiento. La verdadera libertad surge cuando dejamos de luchar contra lo que es y cuestionamos nuestros pensamientos estresantes. Entender nuestra mente y soltar las expectativas nos permite vivir en paz, independientemente de lo que hagan o digan los demás. La crítica, a menudo, percibida como una amenaza, se presenta como una oportunidad invaluable para la autorrealización. Cada juicio o crítica que recibimos refleja una parte de nosotros mismos que aún no hemos explorado. Cuestionar esas creencias puede transformar la percepción del mundo y de nuestras relaciones. Katie nos invita a abrazar cualquier emoción o pensamiento que surja, incluso aquellos que parecen dolorosos. No se trata de reprimir ni de evitar, sino de comprender que el sufrimiento proviene de creer en pensamientos no cuestionados. Una mente en paz con la realidad ya no proyecta tristeza, enfado o resentimiento. Finalmente, destaca que vivir en claridad no requiere de un esfuerzo heroico. Es una práctica sencilla y diaria de cuestionar pensamientos estresantes y dejar de aferrarnos a nuestras historias. En última instancia, este proceso revela que la felicidad y la libertad están siempre disponibles, aquí y ahora. En este capítulo también hay una parte donde dice el trabajo en acción, mi madre me ataca. En este ejercicio, Arturo presenta la creencia de que su madre lo ataca, lo juzga y piensa que no da la talla. Katie lo guía a través de las 4 preguntas del trabajo para cuestionar esta creencia. Durante el proceso, Arturo descubre que su sufrimiento no proviene de las acciones de su madre, sino de sus propias interpretaciones y expectativas sobre ella. Al cuestionar el pensamiento «mi madre me ataca», Arturo se da cuenta de que su madre no lo atacó realmente, sino que estaba intentando conectar con él al preguntarle si podía visitarlo. También reconoce que él fue quien la atacó al reaccionar con enfado y proyectar en ella su propio juicio y rechazo hacia sí mismo. Katie lo ayuda a invertir la creencia, mostrándole que no fue su madre quien lo atacó, sino que él se atacó a sí mismo al no aceptarse como es y al no ser sincero con ella. También identifica que su madre, lejos de atacarlo, le tendió la mano en un intento de reconectar. Al final, Arturo comprende que su sufrimiento durante años se basó en una historia que creó sobre su madre y que podía haber respondido con sinceridad y amor en lugar de rechazo. Este ejercicio le permite ver a su madre desde una nueva perspectiva, liberarse de la culpa y el resentimiento y aceptar tanto a su madre como a sí mismo con mayor claridad y compasión. En el capítulo 14, llamado Nada nos pertenece, Buda subraya que la verdadera libertad radica en liberarse de todos los conceptos, incluidos los del yo y otro. Explica que las cualidades espirituales más elevadas, como la paciencia o la generosidad, no son cualidades en sí mismas, sino proyecciones conceptuales que desaparecen cuando se comprende la naturaleza ilusoria de las cosas. Subhuti, emocionado, reconoce la profundidad de la enseñanza y la considera la guía definitiva hacia la libertad y la iluminación. El Buda utiliza un ejemplo extremo de su vida pasada, cuando fue torturado, para mostrar cómo, al no identificarse con el cuerpo ni con conceptos duales, fue capaz de estar en paz incluso en esa situación. La paciencia no era necesaria porque no había un yo que pudiera ser lastimado. Esto refuerza la idea de que la mente debe mantenerse independiente de los pensamientos y percepciones que surgen, ya que depender de ellos genera sufrimiento. El capítulo ilustra cómo la práctica del trabajo ayuda a desenredar las ilusiones mentales y a vivir en conexión con la realidad, sin miedo ni apego. Katie comparte una experiencia personal en la que mantuvo la calma y el amor, incluso frente a una amenaza violenta, mostrando que una mente clara y libre de conceptos responde con paz ante cualquier circunstancia. La indagación constante, dice Katie, es clave para liberarse del sufrimiento. Cuestionar los pensamientos estresantes y no identificarse con ellos transforma la percepción del mundo, llevándonos a un estado de paz y claridad, donde los problemas dejan de existir. En el capítulo 15, llamado Volver a casa, Buda compara la práctica de escuchar y encarnar el Sutra del Diamante con realizar innumerables actos de generosidad, afirmando que el mérito espiritual de comprender y vivir esta enseñanza es mucho mayor. Describe cómo este sutra ofrece una guía invaluable para quienes están listos para recibirlo, llevándolos al mismo estado de iluminación del Buda. El capítulo enfatiza la repetición como un método necesario para disolver el sufrimiento. El Buda, como una madre llamando a su hijo perdido, invita constantemente a las personas a volver a su verdadera naturaleza. El sufrimiento, según Buda, es el motor que lleva a las personas a cuestionar sus pensamientos y encontrar la iluminación. Katie conecta este concepto con la indagación, señalando que cada pensamiento negativo separa a la mente de su naturaleza bondadosa. Cuando la mente se identifica con algo que no es, se pierde en el sufrimiento. Al cuestionar estos pensamientos, la mente recupera su estado natural de paz y deleite. La paz, dice Katie, llega por invitación propia, a través del cuestionamiento de los pensamientos estresantes. Mientras los grandes textos espirituales describen qué significa ser libre, el trabajo proporciona el cómo, ofreciendo una vía directa hacia la claridad y la mente despierta. Finalmente, Katie concluye que la bondad hacia otros y hacia uno mismo no se distingue, ya que cualquier acto amable hacia los demás es también un acto de amor hacia uno mismo, reflejando la unidad intrínseca de la mente cuestionada. En el capítulo 16, llamado Todo sucede para ti, no a ti, Katie sigue con las enseñanzas del Buda, que enseña que quien comprende y vive las enseñanzas del Sutra del Diamante adquiere una libertad inquebrantable. Esa persona libre de los conceptos de yo y otro No se verá perturbada por calumnias, rechazos ni abandono, ya que todo lo que sucede se ve como un reflejo de la mente y no como algo personal. El mérito espiritual de encarnar este sutra es inconmensurablemente mayor que cualquier acto de generosidad imaginable. Katie conecta esta enseñanza con la idea de que todo en el mundo es un reflejo de la mente. No reaccionamos a las personas, sino a las historias que proyectamos sobre ellas. Comprender esto nos permite no ser afectados ni por la culpa ni por el halago, ya que ambos son proyecciones de las creencias de los demás. Ser culpado ofrece la oportunidad de aprender y crecer, mientras que ser halagado refleja el estado mental de quien halaga. La verdadera libertad surge cuando dejamos de tomar las cosas como algo personal y aprendemos a recibir pensamientos y eventos con comprensión. Katie enfatiza que cualquier sufrimiento es el resultado de discutir con la realidad y que cuestionar nuestros pensamientos es el camino hacia la paz interior, como ya hemos visto. Finalmente, Katie comparte una experiencia transformadora de gratitud que vivió antes de su despertar. Una muestra de bondad sencilla le enseñó que el amor y la conexión son el núcleo de nuestra verdadera naturaleza. Al ayudar a otros, reencarna ese amor y vive en constante gratitud, demostrando que todo en la vida, incluso las dificultades, sucede para nosotros, no contra nosotros. El capítulo 17, llamado La vida sin separación, el Buda enseña que no hay un yo ni un otro, como hemos visto, y que la iluminación no es algo que pueda ser alcanzado ni poseído, porque no existe como una cosa separada. Los bodhisattvas, que comprenden esta verdad, dejan de actuar desde el ego y entienden que liberar a otros es lo mismo que liberarse a sí mismos, ya que no hay separación entre ellos y los demás. Katie relaciona estas enseñanzas con la práctica de cuestionar pensamientos estresantes. Describe cómo al principio, al enfrentar sus propias creencias, sentía que explotaban como bombas dentro de ella, causando incomodidad física y emocional. Sin embargo, incluso en medio de esta turbulencia, experimentaba una paz constante. Reconocía que estas creencias no eran reales y al cuestionarlas encontraba claridad y gozo. La iluminación, según Katie, no es un estado místico lejano, sino la liberación de cada pensamiento estresante al cuestionarlo y reconocer su irrealidad. Por ejemplo, al invertir creencias como mi familia debería comprenderme en yo debería comprenderme a mí misma o yo debería comprender a mi familia, descubría una verdad más cercana a la realidad, lo que traía consigo paz y humildad. Comprender que nada existe como lo creemos no es deprimente, sino emocionante, ya que elimina la separación y el sufrimiento. La vida se convierte en un sueño feliz, donde cada pensamiento es una oportunidad para despertar a la verdad y vivir en gratitud y libertad. En el capítulo 18, llamado La libertad es no creerse los pensamientos, se profundiza en la enseñanza de que la mente y los pensamientos no son reales, ni siquiera los más sólidos. El Buda compara la mente al río Ganges lleno de infinitos granos de arena, cada uno representando mundos ilusorios creados por los pensamientos. Afirma que la mente pasada, futura y presente son inasibles, lo que significa que no tienen existencia real. Esta comprensión, aunque radical, es liberadora porque elimina el sufrimiento al deshacer la ilusión de separación y apego. Katie explica cómo esta verdad puede aplicarse mediante la práctica del trabajo, un proceso de indagación que permite cuestionar y desmantelar los pensamientos estresantes. Al observar que cada pensamiento es pura imaginación, las personas pueden salir de sus mundos imaginarios y entrar en un estado de claridad y paz, lo que ella llama la mente búdica, Según Katie, los pensamientos son como nubes que aparentan entrar y salir del cielo, pero en realidad no hay nada que entre ni salga porque los pensamientos no existen. En el segmento de El trabajo en acción, Felipe, un padre frustrado, indaga sobre sus pensamientos estresantes acerca de su hija Sofía, de 2 años, quien no coopera al sentarse en el coche. Cree que Sofía no lo escucha y no hace lo que le dice. Mediante las preguntas del trabajo, Felipe descubre que Sofía sí lo escucha, pero él mismo no la escucha a ella, ni se escucha a sí mismo. Además, se da cuenta de que proyecta en Sofía su propia necesidad de control y expectativas irreales. A través de las inversiones de sus pensamientos, Felipe reconoce que en lugar de culpar a Sofía, debería ser más paciente, escucharla y permitirle expresar su personalidad sin imponerle sus deseos. Por ejemplo, en lugar de esperar que Sofía sea feliz al ser obligada a sentarse en un coche, él comprende que su frustración surge de su propia creencia errónea de que ella debe cumplir sus expectativas. Katie enfatiza que la práctica del trabajo no solo transforma la relación con los demás, sino también con uno mismo. Cada pensamiento cuestionado es una oportunidad para liberar el sufrimiento y encontrar paz. A medida que Felipe avanza en el proceso, se da cuenta de que su hija refleja su propia forma de ver la vida y que su frustración con ella es en realidad un espejo de su desconexión consigo mismo. El capítulo concluye con una poderosa lección. La libertad radica en no creerse los pensamientos estresantes. Al cuestionarlos, se deshacen las ilusiones que los alimentan, permitiendo a las personas experimentar gratitud, conexión y amor incondicional. Katie invita a todos a abrazar las dificultades como oportunidades para despertar y recordar que no hay separación, solo unidad en la conciencia. En el capítulo 19, llamado Riqueza inconcebible, se explora el concepto de riqueza desde una perspectiva espiritual y trascendental. El Buda enseña a Subhuti que el mérito de alguien que dona inmensas riquezas no es real, ya que la verdadera riqueza no puede poseerse ni medirse. Katie retoma esta idea y explica que la riqueza es un estado mental, no una acumulación de bienes. Al soltar el apego a las posesiones, uno gana libertad y se abre a la abundancia infinita, que ya está presente en todo momento. Katie comparte experiencias personales para ilustrar esta enseñanza. Relata cómo regaló su casa y su perro a una familia que expresó un profundo deseo por ellos. Para ella, este acto no fue un sacrificio ni una decisión difícil, sino un reconocimiento natural de que esas cosas ya no le pertenecían. La abundancia, explica, es un flujo constante que nunca se agota y que no depende del tiempo ni de las circunstancias. La verdadera riqueza, según Katie, surge de la libertad de la mente y la comprensión de que no hay separación entre uno mismo y el mundo. Cuando la mente deja de distinguir entre mío y tuyo, todo se convierte en un regalo que fluye sin esfuerzo. Esta visión elimina el miedo a la escasez y permite vivir en un estado de gratitud y generosidad perpetuas. Katie concluye que dar no solo beneficia al receptor, sino que libera al dador de las cadenas del apego, proporcionando una libertad y una paz invaluables. En el capítulo 20, llamado El cuerpo perfecto, Buda explica a Subhuti que no se puede identificar al Buda por su cuerpo perfecto ni por características especiales, ya que estas solo son etiquetas creadas por la mente. Byron Katie profundiza en esta enseñanza, señalando que todos los cuerpos son perfectos tal como son. La comparación mental es lo que crea la ilusión de imperfección. Según Katie, incluso con enfermedades o limitaciones físicas, el cuerpo sigue siendo perfecto para cada momento. Katie subraya que no hay necesidad de sanar el cuerpo como una condición para la paz. La verdadera curación radica en la cordura mental. La identificación de la mente con el cuerpo genera sufrimiento, ya que teme perder esa identificación al morir. Sin embargo, Katie plantea que la muerte no es un problema, pues todos morimos perfectamente cada noche al dormir. A través de anécdotas personales, Katie ilustra cómo una mente en paz puede transformar experiencias potencialmente aterradoras como la parálisis temporal de sus piernas o un posible infarto en momentos de gratitud y claridad. Relata también su experiencia cercana a la muerte en 2014, donde incluso ante el colapso de sus órganos permaneció tranquila y libre de apego. Katie concluye que el cuerpo no tiene poder en sí mismo, simplemente refleja la mente. Cuando la mente está en paz, incluso la muerte del cuerpo puede ser vivida sin miedo. Esta comprensión libera la mente del sufrimiento y permite vivir en un estado de aceptación y gratitud. En el capítulo 21, llamado Nada que perder, Buda afirma que no tiene nada que enseñar, ya que la enseñanza de la verdad consiste en revelar que no hay una verdad que pueda transmitirse. Esto invita a desaprender y a cuestionar todo lo que creemos saber, pues solo en el vacío de conceptos y creencias puede encontrarse la libertad. El Buda explica que los seres no son realmente seres, solo se les llama así, como una etiqueta mental. Katie completa esta idea al describir la libertad que surge al comprender que nada nos pertenece, ni siquiera nuestra identidad. La sensación de no tener nada que perder disuelve la separación entre uno mismo y el mundo. La mente iluminada comprende que no puede poseer nada y deja de tener miedo a sí misma. Katie destaca que el camino hacia esta comprensión es desaprender, lo que abre espacio para la inmensidad y la claridad. Mientras permanecemos atrapados en nuestras creencias, el mundo se siente limitado y lleno de sufrimiento. Pero al dejar ir esas ilusiones, la mente se reencuentra con su verdadera naturaleza, que es el amor, la claridad y la creatividad infinita. El Buda guía a la mente hacia adentro, donde se encuentran todas las respuestas. No ofrece soluciones externas, sino un espejo para la autorrealización. El viaje hacia la verdad requiere una mente abierta y sin miedo, dispuesta a soltar el control y descubrir su naturaleza jubilosa. En el capítulo 22, llamado Recoger la basura, Buda aclara que la iluminación no es algo que pueda alcanzarse, no es una cosa ni un estado, sino una idea ilusoria nacida de la imaginación. La iluminación solo tiene sentido como un acto presente, estar consciente de tus propios pensamientos estresantes en este momento. Katie expande esta idea al señalar que el pasado no existe más que como una historia que nos contamos en el presente. Cuando nos enfocamos en esas historias no examinadas, nos atrapamos en una película mental que parece real y provoca sufrimiento. Sin embargo, cuando cuestionamos nuestras percepciones, descubrimos que solo existe el presente. Katie usa la metáfora de recoger la basura para ilustrar cómo nuestras acciones diarias pueden reflejar claridad mental. Al limpiar nuestra mente de pensamientos estresantes, transformamos el mundo de nuestra percepción, creando un entorno interno de paz y gratitud. La verdadera responsabilidad no es cambiar el mundo físico, sino comprender el mundo dentro de nosotros. Todo lo que vemos o hacemos, incluso algo tan simple como recoger basura, puede convertirse en un momento de gracia cuando estamos presentes. La iluminación no es un destino, sino un estado continuo de cuestionar y soltar todo lo que nos separa de nuestra verdadera naturaleza, que es un amor profundo y una conexión con el momento presente. En el capítulo 23 llamado La gratitud no pregunta por qué, Buda explica que en la mente iluminada no existe jerarquías ni comparaciones y que la generosidad auténtica surge de la ausencia de un yo y otro, como ya sabemos. Katie reflexiona sobre cómo todo lo que hacemos y damos es, en última instancia, una extensión del amor hacia nosotros mismos, ya que todo es uno. La verdadera generosidad no es un acto consciente, sino algo que fluye de forma natural y sin esfuerzo. Katie narra su experiencia con la dama, una visión que tuvo tras su despertar. Esta figura, proyectada por su mente como símbolo de verdad y compasión, se convirtió en su maestra. La dama desaparecía cada vez que Katie actuaba desde la mentira o la manipulación, guiándola a vivir con absoluta sinceridad e integridad. Con el tiempo, Katie comprendió que la dama era una manifestación de su propia conciencia iluminada. La gratitud, según Katie, no necesita razones. Surge espontáneamente en el presente, sin condiciones ni explicaciones. Vivir en gratitud es recibir todo lo que ocurre como un regalo perfecto, incluso los pensamientos y las experiencias difíciles. Este estado de aceptación total no solo transforma la percepción del mundo, sino que también elimina el sufrimiento, permitiéndonos experimentar la vida como un flujo continuo de amor y unidad. En el capítulo 24 llamado La causa de todo sufrimiento, Buda explica que el mérito de alguien que comprende profundamente la verdad de este sutra es inconmensurablemente mayor que el de quien dona una riqueza inmensa para causas caritativas. Aunque la filantropía es valiosa, no puede otorgar paz mental. La comprensión de que no hay un yo ni un otro elimina el sufrimiento de raíz y transforma completamente la vida. Katie refuerza esta idea, señalando que el sufrimiento no proviene de las circunstancias, sino de creer pensamientos no cuestionados, como nos recuerda continuamente. Katie relata su despertar, donde comprendió que el sufrimiento surge al creer en la separación que generan los pensamientos. Este entendimiento dio origen a el trabajo, un método para cuestionar pensamientos estresantes, mediante preguntas como ¿es verdad? ¿Y quién serías sin ese pensamiento? Las personas pueden liberarse de las creencias que les causan dolor. Al hacerlo, se desvela un estado de amor y claridad, donde la realidad es vista como perfecta y sin adversidad. En el apartado El trabajo en acción, Cristina, una madre molesta porque su esposo Daniel no cumplió un acuerdo, examina sus pensamientos. A través de las preguntas de Katie, descubre que su percepción inicial estaba basada en creencias erróneas. Al cuestionarlas, Cristina reconoce que Daniel no solo estaba cumpliendo su promesa a su hija, sino que ella misma había dejado de cumplir con sus propias intenciones de mejorar su relación. Este ejercicio le permite transformar su frustración en aprecio por el momento presente y la relación con su familia. Katie enfatiza que la causa del sufrimiento no es la realidad, sino los pensamientos que no se cuestionan, como ya sabemos. Por ejemplo, el enfado de Cristina surgió de su expectativa de que Daniel hiciera lo que ella deseaba, sin considerar el valor de lo que él estaba haciendo. Una vez que Cristina invierte sus pensamientos, yo no cumplo mis promesas o no quiero que él cumpla lo que dice, encuentra claridad y paz. Katie subraya que la verdadera liberación no proviene de cambiar a los demás, sino de cambiar nuestras percepciones. Cuando dejamos de resistir la realidad, todo se convierte en un regalo, incluso lo que parece adversidad, como la posibilidad de que alguien te deje, puede verse como lo mejor que podría pasar. Este estado de aceptación total no solo elimina el sufrimiento personal, sino que también mejora nuestras relaciones al liberar a los demás de nuestras expectativas. En última instancia, Katie afirma que el mayor regalo que podemos dar a los demás es la comprensión de que el sufrimiento no es real, sino una ilusión creada por la mente. Al practicar el trabajo y desaprender nuestras creencias, podemos experimentar una vida llena de amor, conexión y gratitud, donde cada experiencia, incluso las desafiantes, es una oportunidad para despertar a nuestra verdadera naturaleza. En el capítulo 25 llamado La misma sabiduría, Buda enseña que no hay personas maduras o inmaduras, ya que todos compartimos la misma sabiduría innata. Las diferencias surgen únicamente porque algunos creen en sus pensamientos, mientras otros los cuestionan y se liberan de ellos. Además, el Buda afirma que no existen seres que liberar, lo cual, aunque pueda parecer frío o desmotivador, apunta a una verdad profunda, que no hay separación entre yo y otro. Esta comprensión elimina el egoísmo y fomenta la compasión natural, ya que al reconocer que todos somos uno, no tendría sentido dañar a los demás. Byron Katie ilustra esta idea con una experiencia personal. Mientras observaba una gaviota, su mente se identificó con el ave, sintiendo su vuelo como propio. Sin embargo, al surgir pensamientos como «no puedo volar» o «me voy a caer», experimentó miedo, hasta que cuestionó esos pensamientos con el trabajo. Al liberarse de esas creencias, volvió a disfrutar del vuelo y la experiencia de ser una gaviota. Esto demuestra que la mente crea sufrimiento cuando se identifica con pensamientos no cuestionados. Katie comparte cómo, tras su despertar, experimentó un amor universal que trascendía toda separación. Su conexión con los demás era tan intensa que trataba a todos como reflejos de sí misma, demostrando que la verdadera sabiduría y compasión surgen de entender que no hay yo ni otro. En el capítulo 26 llamado Un Buda en casa, Buda enseña que no se puede reconocer a un Buda por sus características físicas, ya que éstas no reflejan su esencia. Esto nos invita a considerar que todos podrían ser Budas, incluso las personas con las que tenemos más conflictos. En este contexto, cada relación se convierte en una oportunidad para el aprendizaje y el autoconocimiento. Katie argumenta que las relaciones son espejos que reflejan nuestras propias creencias y sistemas de pensamiento. Cuando percibimos fallos en los demás, en realidad estamos viendo nuestras propias proyecciones. La clave está en cuestionar estas creencias, ya que nuestra felicidad no depende de los demás, sino de nuestra relación con nosotros mismos. Las experiencias de que nuestra pareja nos haga felices suelen generar conflictos, ya que provienen de sistemas de creencias no examinados. Katie enfatiza que el amor verdadero no requiere control ni condiciones. Amar a alguien significa desear que esa persona sea libre de amar como quiera. Ella aplica esto a su matrimonio, comprometiéndose a cuestionar pensamientos que la separe de su esposo Stephen. La monogamia, según Katie, simboliza el uno y proporciona una oportunidad para profundizar en el autoconocimiento. Al amar plenamente a quien está contigo, descubres que el amor es tu verdadera naturaleza, que no depende de historias o expectativas, sino de aceptar la realidad tal como es. El capítulo 27, llamado El espacio entre pensamientos, Buda enseña que la iluminación no depende de características físicas ni de la percepción de que todas las cosas son inexistentes. La verdad trasciende conceptos y dualidades como existencia o inexistencia. Katie reflexiona que nuestra conciencia sobre las cosas aparece solo cuando las pensamos. Antes de eso, para nosotros no existen. Este vacío entre pensamientos es un estado natural, pero el sufrimiento surge cuando creemos nuestras historias mentales. Katie comparte cómo, tras su despertar, perdió la noción de pertenencia a cualquier cosa, incluso a su propio cuerpo. Observó que nada es real, sino una proyección mental, y que no existe nada permanente. La práctica de la indagación nos permite enfrentar cada pensamiento y descubrir su irrealidad. Esto lleva a una profunda paz, porque todo lo que percibimos y experimentamos es producto de la imaginación. Aunque algunos maestros enseñan que nada existe, Katie señala que esto no puede expresarse como una verdad absoluta, ya que incluso esa afirmación implica dualidad. En cambio, el silencio es una expresión más precisa de lo que es. Practicar la indagación lleva a la libertad total, al revelar que todo es intrínsecamente bueno y que somos responsables de cómo experimentamos el mundo. Este proceso nos devuelve al estado natural de felicidad y paz. El capítulo 28, llamado Cepíllate los dientes, Buda explica que el mérito de comprender y vivir la verdad de que no hay separación entre yo y otro supera cualquier acción material. Los bodhisattvas no buscan mérito porque entienden que no les pertenece. El mérito es una construcción externa e ilusoria. Katie reflexiona que toda acción tiene valor, sin jerarquías ni comparaciones. Beneficiar a una persona lavando un plato tiene el mismo valor que beneficiar a millones si se hace desde una mente clara. Cuando seguimos nuestra voz interna, sin resistencias ni historias, desaparecemos en la acción y nos convertimos en ella. Este fluir natural nos conecta con una conciencia más profunda, libre de la carga del yo. Katie comparte una experiencia de 1986, cuando escuchó una voz interna que le decía: «Cepíllate los dientes». Aunque parecía algo mundano, ese acto simbolizaba la rendición a su verdad interna, sin importar lo pequeño o poco espiritual que pudiera parecer. Para Katie, seguir esta voz es vivir plenamente, ya que esta vida no es suya, sino un flujo constante de instrucciones internas que llevan a la paz. Esta resonancia interna está disponible para todos. Cuando no la seguimos, sentimos dolor. Al soltar nuestros juicios y pensamientos, descubrimos que no somos los que hacen, sino que estamos siendo hechos. En el capítulo 29, llamado Siendo transparente, Buda explica que no tiene un origen ni un destino y que no puede ser definido por conceptos como ir o venir. Este estado, representado por la palabra Tathagata, aquel que aparece tal como es, describe tanto al Buda como a todos los seres cuando se vive desde la verdad esencial. Una mente clara no necesita máscaras, lo que ves es lo que hay. Katie reflexiona sobre la transparencia y cómo el ir y venir son solo historias que contamos. Durante los primeros meses, después de su despertar, intentaba ser completamente honesta, pero aprendió a unirse a las personas para no alienarlas, ajustando sus respuestas sin comprometer su integridad. Comprendió que todas las personas son reflejos de su propia mente, aún dormidas o densas, pero esencialmente conectadas. La muerte, explica Katie, es un estado de rendición total donde cesa toda resistencia. Ella la describe como un espacio de paz donde las creencias se disuelven y queda solo el ser. Katie también comparte su experiencia al crear la Escuela para el Trabajo, diseñada para ayudar a las personas a cuestionar sus pensamientos, superar sus miedos y encontrar libertad. Este método transforma las percepciones y ayuda a las personas a vivir con claridad y amabilidad, proyectando un mundo más amoroso. En el capítulo 30, llamado Un mundo totalmente bondadoso, Buda nos lleva más allá de los nombres y conceptos, recordándonos que los términos como partículas o mundos son convenciones lingüísticas que no describen realidades separadas. Este capítulo se centra en cómo la mente crea un mundo de dualidades al aferrarse a nombres y creencias, generando sufrimiento. Katie explica que antes de que aprendamos a nombrar, vivimos en un estado de unidad y paz. Sin embargo, al creer en los nombres y conceptos, surge un mundo separado, lleno de comparaciones, inseguridades y conflictos. La mente, cuando no se cuestiona, vive atrapada en narrativas de pasado y futuro que generan estrés. Sin embargo, al hacer el trabajo y cuestionar estos pensamientos, la mente puede soltar suavemente su control sobre la identidad, permitiéndole experimentar un mundo bondadoso y sin amenazas. Una mente clara proyecta un mundo claro y bondadoso, donde la creatividad y las opciones fluyen sin miedo ni límites. Katie aborda la idea del miedo, desafiando la creencia común de que es una reacción biológica automática. Argumenta que el miedo siempre es resultado de un pensamiento no cuestionado sobre el futuro o el pasado. Incluso en situaciones aparentemente peligrosas, el miedo no es intrínseco a la realidad, sino a las historias que creemos sobre ella. En el trabajo en acción que incluye este capítulo, Emma, una madre preocupada, presenta un problema con su hijo Glenn, quien está bebiendo cerveza sin alcohol después de haber estado en rehabilitación. Katie la guía para cuestionar sus pensamientos estresantes. Emma comienza creyendo que su hijo está retrocediendo y que esto es peligroso. Katie le muestra cómo su sufrimiento proviene no de las acciones reales de su hijo, sino de las historias que su mente crea al respecto. A través de el trabajo, Emma se da cuenta de que su miedo y enfado no están causados por su hijo, sino por sus proyecciones del pasado y el futuro. Katie le muestra cómo, al creer estos pensamientos, Emma se aísla de su hijo y proyecta juicio, incluso cuando él está sobrio, cuidando de su perro y haciendo lo correcto. Al cuestionar estas creencias, Emma comienza a ver a su hijo tal como es, sin el filtro de su miedo, y se siente agradecida por su presencia y esfuerzo. Katie destaca que los pensamientos estresantes como «él debería ir a terapia» o «necesito que sea feliz para ser yo feliz» son los verdaderos responsables de la desconexión y el sufrimiento. Emma descubre que el camino de sanación no está en cambiar a su hijo, sino en cambiar su percepción. Finalmente, Katie invita a Emma a aceptar incluso el miedo como parte de su proceso, reconociendo que tanto ella como su hijo son perfectos tal como son. Este ejercicio muestra cómo el trabajo nos permite liberar juicios y encontrar paz en la realidad tal como es, revelando un mundo totalmente bondadoso. En el capítulo 31, llamado La verdadera naturaleza de todo, Buda enseña que no existe un concepto real del yo o otro. Estas ideas son meras construcciones lingüísticas que usamos para navegar el mundo, pero no representan verdades absolutas. Katie refuerza esta enseñanza afirmando que sin historias no hay mundo, ni siquiera un tú. Todo lo que percibimos como separado, como árboles, personas o el planeta, está enraizado en nuestras creencias sobre la identidad y la dualidad. Cuando dejamos de creer en un yo separado, la mente se libera del sufrimiento, pues éste surge de identificarse con un cuerpo y sus amenazas percibidas. La mente despierta contempla la vida con gratitud, sin miedos ni conflictos, encontrando paz incluso en situaciones que antes parecían adversas. Katie explica cómo incluso la muerte y la destrucción, ya sean del cuerpo o del medio ambiente, forman parte de un proceso natural que puede ser visto con amor y aceptación. Vivir en la realidad, en lugar de en pensamiento sobre la realidad, permite actuar de forma efectiva y sin miedo. La práctica del trabajo permite liberar estas creencias, proyectando un mundo más amable y bondadoso. El capítulo concluye destacando que el mundo no necesita ser salvado, pues ya está completo. Al salvarse a sí mismo, cada persona también salva el mundo. En el último capítulo, el capítulo 32, llamado Amar el sueño, Buda concluye su enseñanza explicando que el mundo es una ilusión creada por el acto de nombrar. Todo lo que percibimos y denominamos árbol, cielo, persona, surge de nuestras creencias, separando la realidad en fragmentos que producen sufrimiento. Sin embargo, al comprender que estas designaciones no son reales y que el mundo es como un sueño, se puede experimentar una profunda paz. Katie reflexiona sobre el amor hacia este sueño. Amar el sueño no significa ignorar su naturaleza ilusoria, sino reconocer que es el producto de nuestros pensamientos y disfrutarlo sin apego ni miedo. La mente, al comprender que las cosas no son reales, deja de sufrir por ellas. Una mente cuestionada ya no se aferra a nombres ni conceptos, permitiendo que todo fluya libremente sin resistencia. La mente que no sabe es el estado de apertura total, un contenedor que no necesita guardar nada para sí misma. Permite que todo entre, lo bueno, lo malo, lo glorioso, lo vergonzoso, y lo abraza con amor. Aunque nada de ello sea real, todo es valioso en su experiencia. Despertar del sueño no es necesario. Basta con comprender su naturaleza y disfrutar cada momento. Cuanto más sabe la mente, menos necesita saber. Si te ha gustado o ha inspirado el vídeo de hoy y quieres agradecérmelo, haz clic ahora en me gusta, comparte el vídeo y no olvides suscribirte. Este simple gesto será una gran ayuda para mí. Ahora escribe en los comentarios: cuestiono mis pensamientos, para yo saber que te gustó y te ayudó este vídeo. Para terminar, si necesitas sanar tu autoestima en profundidad, te invito a mi clase privada gratuita, donde te enseñaré mi método de eliminación de bloqueos subconscientes para amar tu vida y vivir sin preocupaciones. Haz clic en el enlace de la descripción del vídeo donde dice «Quiero ver la clase privada» y nos vemos dentro. Te mando un fuerte abrazo y te deseo un gran día. Soy Elias Benson.
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would have, That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way. Someone said this to me before, Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of?
That's a good line.
And I stopped after. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. And I went and wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey, you did not pull that off. Give others and yourself more credit. Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain. And that's a win.
So much easier to be supportive and gentle of other people than of ourselves. You know, you will happily bestow this sort of gentle, reassuring pat on the shoulder when somebody succeeds or falls short when they tried their best. Yet, given the fact that you tried your best, you give yourself a kick on the way out of the door and a harsh word to follow you.
Yep, because I got myself in the pickle. Because things didn't go how I wanted it to go or how I believed it could go. Life's the ironic tragedy. Life is pain. I'm the reason that I stepped in, which is also an asset. Even if someone go, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up? We're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page, get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life. There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise. If I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys.
The ironic tragedy is that life has to be lived forward, but only makes sense in reverse.
But when you look back, we can all connect every single dot. It's mathematical, scientific how we got to this table right here. It's all connected if we go back and look at it. And there's a whole lot of, I thought that was the end. Well, it was the end, but it was the beginning of this thing. What you're leaning into is that mystery going forward, right? That ironic tragedy that you have something to push off the, well, I don't know what I do want, but I do know I don't want that. You have leverage.
Yes.
You know, it's there. You know, we always say, well, who are you? You know, once you figure out who you are. And we ask, I try not to ask my kids that now. Well, I want you to know who you are. And a part of that who's helped me is Bob Dylan's lines, like, I don't know what all this talks about who we are, man. We are all just what we create ourselves to be. And that gives me a little, oh, that's relaxing. But it's so much easier to figure out who you're not. And if you start eliminating the who I'm not, by sheer mathematics, you end up
moving toward
more of what feeds you and who you are. And it's a hell of a lot easier thing to go, how can I get rid of some bullshit in my life, than it is to go, well, how do I go to my true self?
Do I want to press the accelerator more quickly, or do I want to take my foot off the fucking brake?
Sometimes the hard work and the endurance and the elbow grease, the work harder we were talking about, that hustle is not the way out. Sometimes it's, I need to back up, laugh, have a sip of my favorite whatever, and dance my way through the raindrops out of this sun. And even looking at the things that are bad and going, oh, thank you. Appreciate that. If you can find something that you have an innate ability for, we love doing things we have an innate ability for, right? Have an innate talent, it's in our DNA for. And then go, now I'm ready to educate myself, learn, hustle, go after, seek, create opportunities, bam, bam. It's gonna be in the prism of how I measure every situation where I am going forward. Hunt it down and do what you gotta do to get better at it. And then if it's hopefully something that the world can demand,
Man, that's a sweet spot.
Now you're paying your rent, man. Now we got food on the table. Now we're rolling. Now we're waking up with some purpose. Now we're waking up with, it's gonna be a hard day today, but I'm not dreading Monday morning. May want to sleep in, but I'm building something. I'm building something here. I'm in construction.
You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
It's like if you want to have everything you could possibly want and more, then be a good person. The better a person you are, the more likely that is to happen. There's no better strategy.
Don't just do it for the money. You can make a lot of money. When you find something that you love, you will study it. Something that you love, it becomes a difference between being in speaking and speaking being in you, that you will become not just confident, but you will become competent on that.
Visualization is a gift to your heart and your soul. It's a gift. Because if the idea is the seed, visualization is the fertilizer.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
Take everything away, and then what is it that you see in the mirror? Do you see there is the loving heart inside? There is the strength or the willpower inside this body. There is the discipline inside this body. There is a loyal person standing. There is pride inside of this.
And no, you're not famous, and no, it's not. You were before you were ever an actor. Before, what are you? What were you? Before you were McConaughey, before you were a Texan, before you were an American, before you were an actor, before you were a movie star, before you were a celebrity. Well, come on, get it all off. And it was a purge. You're the only son of a can't get rid of. So, we're gonna duke it out for the rest of our life here, or we're gonna figure out how to get along.
I think courage is the quintessential trait that leads to everything else. You have to first have courage. You have to have courage to quit your job. You have to have courage to get rejected. If you don't first have courage, nothing else follows. Again, it's not are you courageous or not, it's how courageous are you. It's not a binary. I have courage because I have done things that have required it.
It takes courage. It takes courage to have a difficult conversation. Growth takes courage. Learning takes courage. Like this takes courage.
Courage isn't for somebody else for medals, applause, or moral debts. Courage is what at that moment feels most right for you. One great philosopher says, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. What does that mean? That valiant people aren't afraid? No. It means that they experience that fear and they move forward. Move forward anyhow. Many people are dead now. Many people are allowing their dreams to die. Many people are allowing their ideas to lie dormant and collect dust. Many people have all this talent and ability that they are allowing to be buried inside of them, that they will take with them to their graves because they didn't have the courage to be who they are. And I say, as you begin to look toward the future and manifesting your greatness, it's going to take everything in you, that your life deserves the concentrated effort to begin to look at how is it that I can express more of me? How is it that I can bring my ideas out here now? How is it? And start living with a sense of urgency, because you're here today, you're gone today. Life is unpredictable. It's uncertain. There are no guarantees out here at all. So holding back, what are you waiting on? Ask yourself, what's the benefit of your waiting? What's the benefit of your not living your dream? What's the benefit of not listening to yourself?
And for many of you, the reason why you haven't gotten up yet is because you still think failure is final. Fear sedates us. Fear immobilizes us. Fear imprisons us. You got to break out of that prison of fear and see yourself winning in the same place that you lost. Show me somebody who has achieved greatness. And if you pull up their past, I promise you'll see some failures and some lessons learned. If we can change our perspective on failure our lives will never be the same. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough. Stop telling yourself you don't have what it takes. If you want your future, get up now.
I'm getting up, and I'm gonna do this again. I'm getting up, and I'm gonna try this again. And I'm gonna try it again, and I'm gonna try it again. I was made to walk in purpose and to fulfill destiny. I was not created for the prison of fear.
Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently.
It's an emotion that you can't fake. If you fake bravery when you're terrified, that is bravery.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable.
Winning will cost you everything, but will reward you with so much more. It's going to cost you everything.
Courage is something that rubs off on other people. I think it's enormously to be desired to be around courageous people. And that might be different types of courage, some of it physical, some of it mental. Surround yourself with courageous people, or at least not cowards, not cretins, not the sort of people who just say the same things that everyone's meant to say and so on. There's many ways people can get out of this non-life that they are being shunted into.
Can you do what is required to fulfill your purpose? Can you do what it takes? Can you implement? Can you execute? Are you disciplined? Are you principled? Do you possess courage to walk in purpose and to fulfill your destiny?
What would your life be like if you decided to become courageous? What would your life be like? If you decided to act on your dream, if you did what you felt in your heart. You know what courageous means? Courage comes from a French word which means of the heart. You know, it takes courage to live. Since most people go through life not allowing themselves to step out because they don't want to let go. They don't want to be blown around. They don't want to be moved. The courage to face life's whirling wind of contradictions. The courage to love yourself. The courage to take a chance. The courage to be who you are.
Be steadfast, immovable, always abounding. Be brave, be strong. Come out of the dark and into the light with everything that you have. Run after it. And you keep giving, and you keep pouring, and you keep believing, and you keep pushing.
It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or whether doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes up short again and again and again, who, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
Please, listen to yourself. You know the feelings. If you start listening to the feelings in your heart, and I'm doing it now more every day, I find that my feelings, I can trust them. And I say to you, that as you look toward the future, you look at life on a daily basis, if there's something that you have been given, if you've heard something within yourself that you know that what you're doing now doesn't fit for you, it doesn't work for you, it's not giving you what you want, and there's something else that you want to do, don't allow that inner doubt in you to talk you out of it, to build a case on why you can't have it, to tell you why you're not good enough. You ignore that inner voice and all of the external voices. Don't judge the possibilities for what you can do based upon the circumstances, because the circumstances won't determine who you are. Don't determine what you're able to do based upon your resources. Don't determine what's possible for you based upon where your life is right now. Where your life is right now is not you. That's just what it is right now. But the possibilities for you are unlimited. If you're in a rebuilding process, it's unlimited. If you're coming back from adversity and devastation, it's unlimited of what you can do. That's the capacity of human beings. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. Doesn't matter how many flops you've had. Doesn't matter how much money you've lost. In fact, I see it only as an investment of what you learned from life. Not losses, but investments of what's possible for you. Once you start listening to yourself, and as you begin to act on your dream, as you start just trying to find your way, doing what you can with what you have, you will start seeing things opening up for you. You'll start attracting people. You say, where'd they come from? Things will start coming together, clicking for you. You say, whoa, you start brainstorming. Ideas will come out of nowhere as you focus on it. The key to it is to begin to focus, because as you focus on that which you want to do, that which we focus on, that which we give our energy to, it will begin to multiply. It will begin to expand. It will begin to develop your consciousness. And out of that comes your greatness. Out of that comes a commitment. Out of that comes a passion for life. Out of that comes a special power that you have in you that you haven't even called on yet. See, the powers that we have will never reveal themselves if we don't challenge them, if we don't put ourselves in a position where we have to use them. And the guy said, put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skills, or swallow half the pool of life. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Make sure you do all you can do. So as we look at the future, we can decide that from this day forward, as I look at my personal relationships, if I look at my professional relationships, if I look at my family relationships, as I look at all the dimensions of my life, looking at myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm going to do all I can do to develop me, to bring my talent out here, to make a contribution to life. Here's what I know about you. You've got greatness within you. As you look toward the future and developing your greatness, begin to know that your life is worth the effort. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
You might have failed in the weight room, and you might have failed financially, and you might have failed in school, and it doesn't matter where you fail. I need you. I need you in this moment to get up and try again.
I think one of the themes of your worldview that I've become familiar with is alchemizing bad times into good ones. A reminder that things that seem bad can end up being good. How can people, or how do you have more of that perspective during a hard time?
I probably start off intellectualizing something that I know I probably should believe in but don't believe in it, and convince myself, even to an extent to trick myself, that, to sit here and go, well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great. Well, what the hell's that mean? Even if it's true. In the moment, you're like, what are you talking about, man? I'm in the debit section. I'm in a warning section. This sucks. I think that how much I'm conscious of it or not, my undeniable optimism and faith that this isn't all it is. And if it is, so what? That's okay. Well, then really, so what? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? It minimizes. I seem to have a tendency not to make a bigger deal out of things that other people make a bigger deal of. Dramas. I don't like to create false drama. When it comes and it's hard, I am affected. I get the blues. I get sad. I get mad. I'm a shit to be around. I can't get to sleep. I got demons in my own head trying to work the riddle out. Why did this happen? That's the other thing that's tough for me, is I think that any bad thing that happens to me, my initial reaction is, well, what'd you do wrong to lead to this?
Heard a quote recently that said, every man knows reflection and introspection when he's at his lowest. Bad times, you can't do anything other than wallow in retrospective assessment. Yeah. But one of my favorite things I've learned from you is when things are going well, given that that's presumably what you want to have more of, may be worth deconstructing that.
Yes. Can I try and bottle some science here to why things are going well? And I did find consistencies. You were appreciating more. You were pointing out beautiful things and not taking them for granted. And so I found a list of things. I'm like, and when I get off track, I try to remind myself, you've been slacking on some of those. I've definitely found consistencies, and I think we all have them if we just notate them along the way, that they're not by accident. Let's cheers. Let's have a cheers on the way for all the things that will work for when we have going right. Also knowing that it's not forever, that we will have a mountain to climb here shortly. What's my best advice I need to give myself right now is listen to my own damn advice.
Well, we used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars.
I want to skip the flattery and the attaboys, because I do know this. The sooner that we become less impressed with our life, with our accomplishments, with our career, with whatever that prospect is in front of us, the sooner we become less impressed and more involved with that and these things, the sooner we get a whole lot better at doing them.
It's like we've forgotten who we are now. Explorers, pioneers, not caretakers.
Now, why do you pursue things that scare you? Why seek the role that's hard?
Because it costs me something. Because it costs. It comes with a price. It's not really a risk unless you lose the fight. I feel more alive in them. I have an experience in the making of them. I'm nervous every day I come to work.
There are things you can get away with in this world, and there are things you can't.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
I feel like when I nail a day and I knock it and I know I did, I feel like, yes. I have a measure at the end of the day of like, you set out to do something, you prepared for it, you had intention, and you did it. That gives me gratification. That makes me feel, gives me significance. That gives me confidence.
So be brave, have courage, and when you do, you get stronger, you get more aware, you get more respectful of yourself and that which you fear.
I want to talk about our opponent this afternoon. They're bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced, and on paper, they're just better. And they know it too. But I want to tell you something that they don't know. They don't know your heart.
Well, it's because heading out there is what I feel like I was born to do. And it excites me.
Just because you can? Nah, come on. It's not a good enough reason to do something. Even when it means having more. Be discerning. Choose it because you want it. Do it because you want to. It's on you. It's on you.
You believe, we know from the science and we know from experience that if I exercise, it's a process and it's good for me, even though I can't measure it in the short term. And if I eat well and I keep doing that, I know it'll keep me healthy for the long term. I'll eat more leafy greens and less sugar. I know I just have to stick to this process that 100% of the time, it works. How long does it take to get into shape when you start exercising? Nobody knows. Right. Neither does any doctor. Sometimes a little less time for some people and sometimes a little more time for others. Like, we don't know. We just know 100% that it works. And so I had to get used to the idea professionally that I'm going to do things that I know work, but I won't be able to measure them. And I just have to be okay with the fact that it works, like exercise, like eating right. And so that's where, learning an infant mindset and letting go of annual goals. So people are like, what's your annual goal? I don't have any because I can't predict what I'm going to achieve based on arbitrary timelines.
And it's real important in the visualization. You can't see it over there. You have to see it right here.
Feel it.
You got to feel it right here. Like I am. It's all I am. I am. I am in my dream home. I am in my dream relationship, and then unpack what that looks like. But most importantly, unpack what it feels like. And when you have that emotion in this moment, all of a sudden you stir up something that I don't think will ever go back to sleep. It'll go, okay, let's go get that.
Develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. You have greatness in you, that you have the ability to do more than you could ever begin to imagine. You have greatness in you. There's a presence in each and every one of us that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have or hear. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. When you recognize your greatness, no one will ever pull your strings. You are different. You were created on purpose with a purpose to manifest that purpose through you. But you will never exercise authority and dominion over your life until you exercise authority and dominion over what you are not.
Abundance is just about overflow. It's about overflow. That means that if there were a saucer under this cup, abundance would be everything. This tea flows over into the saucer, and I can feed you from my saucer because I have filled my cup up enough. I use my cup for me, and I feed you from my saucer. And abundance is saying I have a saucer in my relationships filled with great experiences. There's a saucer in my health and wellness. I have so much bountiful health and vitality that I can show up for you. There's a saucer with my spirituality that I can pray for you. I can forgive the perceivingly unforgivable and love the perceivingly unlovable. And then there's a saucer for my finances. And that in every area, because abundance is a 360 experience. See, wealth is singularly focused. Wealth is about your money and your possessions. That's wealth. Okay? But abundance is 360. I have a lot of very, very wealthy friends. They're wealthy, they're not abundant.
Your ability to put something into your own mind where nobody else has impact on, and only you know that day in, day out, you just still walk this path and feel for yourself how it's getting real, because it's unbroken, because there's nobody who can interfere.
Make that dash dance. Make it rock this planet. Make it unapologetic. Take no prisoners. Play full out. If you're going to run fast, run hard, even at the risk of hitting the wall. Make your dash dance. Greatness is about being willing to be used to your highest level of possibility, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's unpopular, even when you're alone, even when it's inconveniencing, you're still willing to lead.
I'm thankful to see another day. No, things aren't what I want them to be. No, I don't have all the things I want to have. But I'm thankful that I'm still here. I have another opportunity, another day to live, another chance to contribute, another chance to make a difference in life.
It is ridiculously impossible to become a human being. I am one. I have other good things going for me as a human being, and I'm just grateful. You're dwelling and looking at what you don't have versus looking at what you have.
You are alive against stupendous odds. You are breathing air, observing sunsets, gazing into the night sky. Most people who could exist will never experience that.
I need to constantly remind myself I'm not yet where I want to be, but I know I'll get there. I'm not where I want to be, but I am grateful. I am so grateful that I'm not where I used to be.
I find 10 things to be grateful for before my feet hit the ground. 10 things, and they can't cost money. And especially if I'm feeling strained and stressed, I go over my gratitude list because gratitude will reduce stress all day long.
Happiness only requires that you are grateful. If you've got $1 billion and 3 beautiful children that love you and a beautiful husband or wife, but doesn't matter what you have if you're not grateful. If you live in an emotional home, a habitual pace of worry or frustration, your life's called worry and frustration.
Perspective. And once you see gratitude and opportunity, life is fun. You get to decide if you're going to dwell and play prevent defense, or if you're going to see opportunity and be grateful and go on offense.
I am not where I want to be, but I am so grateful. I am not where I used to be. If you didn't make me, you can't break me. If you didn't make the sun come up, you can't stop me. If you didn't make the moon shine at night, you can't stop me. My purpose, my will, my dedication, my motivation is all about doing the business, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I'm about. I'm about that business. I'm about that life.
You have to stay grateful. You can't take things for granted. We have so much abundance in the world, so much opportunity, and too many people are crying about what they don't have instead of being so deeply grateful for what they have.
Do all you can within your power and the power of others who love you to maximize what you can be, what you can think, what you can learn, how you can love, whatever it is. That's what you've got. Use it.
Truth. Why do we hear about rock stars and famous actors and these people that we see as sort of like the absolute apex of success in the industry? Why are they all killing themselves and dying of alcoholism and like all that darkness happening at the highest level? It's like, because that doesn't equal happiness. Like, what is happiness for you?
Your mind, your emotions, your body. You have 100% control over what you do with these things, and that's where the game is won. You win the inner game, then you win the outer game. But a lot of people spent their life trying to win the outer game, they won and they're miserable.
You look at your life as you look into the future and say, what fears am I holding on to? What fears that I'm allowing to imprison me, that's keeping me from breaking out, that's keeping me from living up to my true potential, that's keeping me from really being happy, that's keeping me from having a sense of adventure and excitement in my life? What's keeping me from controlling my destiny? What fears? And I'm giving that permission to. Notice what I said, that we must give our permission to fear to immobilize us. Because whatever discomfort you experience, whatever challenges or difficulty that it is, you got to handle it. You got to go up in there and wrestle with it. Will it be easy? No. Will it be challenging? Yes. See myself. Confronting my fears. Handling my fears. I'm more than able. Where have you been up to this point? You look at your life, you look at what you produced. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your ideas? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring? Where have you been?
When you're pursuing your greatness, you live from a place of the willingness to live life courageously, to be willing to take chances, to become a risk taker, to make impact, to go beyond believing to knowing, to lean not unto your own understanding, to feel within yourself. There's some cause, there's something that's bigger than me, but I'm never alone in facing this.
See, we don't have the courage, and that's what it takes, courage. It takes guts to do that which you know you need to do. If you don't have the courage to act, life many times will move on you and make you act. Life will whoop your butt so bad. You will be so miserable, you will catch so much hell, you say, yes, I will do it. What do you want me to do? Take me.
You've got some idea, some dream that you might have to go back and brush it off and look at it again and say, I've got to do this. This is my stuff. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up. Where are you going with your life? What decisions are you making right now as you look into the future? It's necessary that you get outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary that you develop some new relationships where you can learn from people. It's necessary that you do reading, that you do research. It's necessary, if you're already involved in some business, that you don't be satisfied with where you are. You want to make it today? It's necessary for you to constantly look at ways of getting better. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, and it's necessary for you to challenge yourself to go after it and get better and leverage relationships that can help you get to where you want to go, but it's you. The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you.
Good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times. My whole thing is leaders anticipate, losers react. If you can anticipate what's coming, you can really take advantage. If you wait till it hits you, you're in trouble. The biggest problem people have is they think they're not supposed to have any. Problems are the fuel for growth. It's like if you don't have any problems, you're either a liar or you might call them challenges. It feels better. I understand that. Anybody who doesn't have problems is either totally asleep at the wheel or they don't have much of any kind of a life. But then there's fulfillment. And fulfillment is living what you're made for. Is it a lack of confidence? No, it's a lack of mission. I like winning. I like being the best at what I do. So I'm not going to settle for less than that. Why would I? Michael Jordan making 1,000 shots before you take a break. So you look at Jordan or you look at, LeBron or you look at anybody who's the best in the world at what they do and you go, aren't they lucky? But if you actually study them, you'll see they're doing things, they're practicing in private things that make them certain in public and they get rewarded for what they do in public. Yeah. And you got to do the same.
When you just know you're going to mess up, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to forget that line that you really wanted to say, but just put all the energy on the audience. Everything starts to change. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
It's a shift in your identity. Every single day, 6 days a week. What matters? A few subjects, your body, because your energy matters. That energy is low. Everything I just said is worthless to you. Because when you're low energy, you don't use your full intelligence or ability. You need emotion. If you don't know how to master your emotion start wars. Emotion creates peace. Emotion gets you children. Emotion is what can make that business work or fail. And most people don't know how to direct their own emotions. Let me be conscious about feeding my brain things that are going to give me not only inspiration, but insight and skill and tools. 68% of the Fortune 1000 were started in either a recession or a depression. Well, the first skill you got to master to be great is the ability to recognize patterns. When humanity recognized the pattern of the seasons, the whole world changed. Because we went from hunter-gatherers trying to survive from place to place where we're exposed to everything to, wait a second, if we plant in the springtime, we protect in the summer, we reap in the fall, and then we hang on to some of that so we can live through the winter. That created communities for the first time, and then eventually cities and states and countries. So that changed the world. What'll change a person's life is when you realize there's also a set of seasons in your own life. And so think of it this way, 0 to 21 is springtime. Things are easy to grow in springtime. You don't have to do that much. Growing as a kid happens naturally. But overall, life is supporting you. It's sending you, teaching you, sharing with you. Now, when you get from 21 to 41 or 22 to 42, whatever range you want to talk about, you now are in the real world. And now you go test what you learned in your springtime. So you start to learn, test, figure out what's real. And it's an important stage of life. 42, 43 to 62, 63 is the power of your life. If you worked hard in the spring and the summer, and you put yourself out there and you planted, it's a reaping time. It's a time when you really become a leader. And then if you're lucky, you go from 63 to 83 and maybe 83 to 103, and you have an extended final season of your life where you get to be the mentor, you get to share. You get to make a difference. And maybe towards the end of your life, people look out for you again after you looked out for everybody else. That's kind of the cycle of life. What if you're born in 1910? World War I ends, the world looks like it's a great place, new technology, cars, radio, and then what happens? An explosion of abundance, the roaring 20s, and so you're a kid, you're 14, 15 years old, and you're like, I can't wait to get a car, to go. But what happened when that person hit the next stage of life at 19, 20, 21 years old? As they came of age, it's 1929. And suddenly, people are jumping out of buildings, total depression, dust bowl, nobody's got jobs. It looks horrific, and it was horrific. But did they get a break? No, when they turned 29, it's 1939. It looked like the whole world was gonna end. Hitler was sweeping across Europe, bombing London. It literally looked like the world as we know it was over. This is what gives me great optimism for everyone watching here. Winter's not forever. No pandemic lives forever. Everything changes and everything ends. And the good news about winter is it's always followed by springtime. What follows the night? The daytime. What a cool way to set it up if you were God or the universe. The first thing I do every single morning is I go in freezing cold water. And when you jump in, it never feels good to go in, but getting out, you feel incredible. But I do it for a different reason. I do it to train my brain to say, when I say now, it means now. When I say go, we go. I don't stand there because it's cold and go maybe in a minute when I'm ready. But I always do it because I've trained my brain. This is how we work. And if you train your brain to do that every single day, then it'll do it on the more difficult and important things in life. But the essence of it is, I change my body radically, and I do 3 things to make sure that my brain is primed. And what I mean by primed is, most people think their thoughts are their thoughts, Lewis, and you and I know better. Most people just don't understand that you are being primed all the time, and unless you prime yourself, you're gonna be primed by the environment. So I wanna take control of my brain, so I do 3 quick things. 1, I take 3 minutes of those 10 minutes, after I've changed my body, and I focus on 3 different events in my life that I'm grateful for. I usually pick 2 big ones and 1 small one. It could be as simple as a smile on my daughter's face, and it changes your biochemistry. Then real fast, I do this 3-minute process that's kind of like a blessing, and then 3 minutes, the last 3 minutes are called 3 to Thrive, where I focus on 3 things I want to accomplish, but instead of thinking I want to accomplish, I see, feel, and experience it as done. I feel grateful, I celebrate it, and it trains your brain. So in 10 minutes, I'm done. 3rd thing that I'll do, I immediately send a message or a text or an audio message to somebody as a sincere compliment. And I don't go, dude, great job, or wow, you're cool. I say, hey, listen, I saw you on Tuesday with those kids, and I saw you take that extra 20 minutes no one else did. And I just want you to know, I saw that, I thought that was incredible. So I'm always very specific so they know it's not just some positive thinking bullshit call, it's sincerely doing it. It makes me constantly look for the good in the people I work with. 4th thing I do is whatever I don't want to do, the most challenging part of the day. What's a story we all love? It's the comeback story. It's the comeback, it's the Rocky, it's that music where all of a sudden you step back up and you take control and rock. Good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times.
The fact that you're still alive and still on this earth, even though it's been challenging and rough, and sometimes you get discouraged and uninspired to keep going. God has a plan. You will grow through what you go through.
Don't be sad, be grateful. Don't dwell, do. Don't complain, create. We got this.
As long as there's breath in my lungs, there's hope in our hearts, and giving up's not an option. You and I and we, no matter what your unique situation, your storm, your struggle, your trauma, your abuse, your wounds, your scars, no matter what they are, you are not a product of your past. You are not a product of your environment or your current unique situation, but you are always a product of how do we navigate through our storm.
And so we're all waiting for perfect. It's an illusion that will never come to you, and it's an excuse to never show up and play. Your story is not meant to be your fortress. Your story is meant to be your fuel.
You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
That dream is not going to wait and say, take a breather. It's going to say, come catch me. Catch me if you can.
You got to block out all of the noise around you that's going to tell you can't do it. Just believe that you can.
Tell yourself, I am more than my circumstances. I am more than my demons. I am great, and I will give my gift to the world because this is what I was born to do. Go get it, son. Go get it. Be sweet. 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 Go get it, son.
If you're going to see it, if you're going to see breakthrough, then you are going to have to be okay with the process that is required.
The one thing you need to do to go where you've never gone before, to have what you've never had before, is to change the way you think.
You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's going to be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump.
Believe that you can. Believe it's possible for you to have it.
Don't lay on your back. Anything that comes your way, you got to be prepared to accept the challenge and go through it. And stop thinking about the negative. Stop talking about the negative. Ask yourself, what would amazing look like for you? As long as that heart is pumping blood, you're not dead yet. They haven't put rose petals on your box yet. Make sure every breath you take counts for something.
Continue to pursue purpose. And we all got a purpose. Every one of you in this room, we're born to not just exist, but to experience life. Every one of you in this room, you were born to leave your fingerprints on history.
If you're struggling, if you're frustrated with yourself, if you're at that point where you're so sick of yourself and your excuses. I've been there, Stephen's been there. This is a normal part of the human experience. And at some point, either the pain is going to get big enough, or you're going to bump into somebody's story somewhere on this planet who has been in the position that you're in right now, facing the stuff that you're facing right now. And there is something about their story at this exact moment in time that will ignite something in you that is missing. And what is missing in you right now is hope. Because when you're stuck and when you are on a downward spiral, whether it's just in your own head or it's in self-destructive behavior, the thing that's missing in your life is hope. You don't believe right now that anything is going to make a difference. What if this is the time sobriety sticks? What if I go to therapy and I actually do change the way that I think? What if I could recover from this narcissistic abuse that I've, been kind of struggling with after that relationship or that marriage? What if I could get out of debt? If that person did it, maybe I could do it. And without either hope or that kind of rock bottom moment, I don't think you're going to change.
Scratch is what makes you better. Scratch, friction,
obstacles create growth. There's no friction when you're this far up in the game anymore. You think there is. That's right. When you achieve so much, the friction is minor. Because why? I'm sore, I'm gonna get a massage today. I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat today. The refrigerator is always full. So your comforts are now, so your discomfort is now very minuscule to your discomfort back here in the $7 a month place. So you have to go back to the total discomfort to then raise your level of where you're at now. I'm not saying stay there and stay there. Visit it. And then you raise your level.
You begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. As you work on yourself, as you begin to acknowledge your true identity, the true power that you have, the true capacity you have to bring about change, the miracle working power that you have within yourself to do the things that you want to do.
And once we learn to make choices that will measurably pay us back, give us more residuals for longer term, for longer time in life, we start to fall into that wise place of being able to navigate the art of living, where life becomes a little bit more of a dance.
You're sitting on the edge of the bed trying to have an honest dialogue with yourself, and the little voice says, you know, it's pretty disgusting in here. And you think, well, I'm way above such trivial niceties as organizing my room. It's like, well, that's pride. That's arrogance. If you're above organizing what's actually yours, how in the world are you ever going to organize anything else? And so you get on your knees and you think, well, it's time to, you know, take a brush to the toilet. And maybe that's where you start. And that works. Like, that works. You start making those micro improvements, like real micro improvements, real on the ground, actual micro improvements to things you know that are wrong, you'll improve unbelievably rapidly.
If you don't have hope and you don't have this breakthrough where you have for just a millisecond this insight where you go, well, what if things did work out? If you don't have that moment, most people stay so stuck in resignation. There are so many people that are not aware of how much better and how much more present and how much more joy they could experience in their life.
See, when you are not filling your life with the things that you are capable of doing, see, we all have some stuff that we've been given. And I don't think that it's optional for us to sit on what we have. See, if you're sitting on what you have, what you've been given, I think everybody's been given something to bring to the planet, that only you can do that, only you can perform that, only you can initiate that activity. And if you don't do that, if you're not filling in your life with your life work or your mission, then there are gaps in your life. And what we do when we're not living out our true identity, we begin to fill the gaps. We fill the holes with garbage.
Success is getting what you want. Fulfillment is living what you're made for.
This is dreams we're talking about. We're talking about dreams.
Can you train your brain to appreciate? Because in the middle of whatever you're pissed off about or frustrated or fearful about or worried about, you're deleting all the things you can be grateful for, you can appreciate that are absolutely real.
Be your own motivator, and you build yourself up.
And that's the problem with the mind. You know, I want your listeners or viewers to really think about this. You do not experience life. You experience the life you focus on. That's it.
In order to achieve greatness, you must first believe you can.
What's the biggest challenge that most of these individuals have? What's the common challenge?
Believe.
They don't believe, man. You know, it's all mental, and people don't get it. And everybody wants to say, okay, well, here go 10 steps to, okay, Lewis said do 8, ET said do 9. You know, this person says this is 12 steps, and everybody's trying to get the steps without the mentality.
You got this. I believe in you. When somebody says, no matter what happens, whether it succeeds or fails, I'm going to be by your side. That's when I have the confidence to do difficult things. Wow. So it's the people in my life.
You should recognize the potential in yourself and love yourself enough to make the changes that produce the best possible version of yourself.
Or how do you overcome self-doubt? How do you overcome self-doubt? Help someone else overcome self-doubt. I love that. I love that. You overcome self-doubt by helping. And it's not a selfish thing. I'm only helping you so I can. You have to genuinely love and commit to the person.
So it's not the car, the house, the whatever. It is that internal goal, that internal why. And so for me, I just think that's it. It's something within it. You gotta pull it out. And so it's easy when you have a why, a purpose. I'm doing it for this, I'm doing it for that. It's easy to get up and get going. But if it's just for a car, what happens, Louis, when you get the car? Because you can buy it. What happens when you get the house and you can buy the house?
The only reason you're not the best right now is because you don't believe you're the best now.
You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. You have got to stand up to that voice. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You've got to sell yourself every day, according to your level of belief. It will manifest itself in what you're doing. Whatever we have right now, whatever we're demonstrating in our lives, is a result of what we believe subconsciously that we deserve. And part of increasing that belief level is that you have got to convince yourself every day.
I believe I'm the best there is. I ain't apologizing for it to anybody. I think I'm the best thing since sliced bread. If you can't do it, you scratch, claw, and even die trying.
The most important decision of your life is deciding whether you're truly committed to being happy no matter what. Because life is going to throw all kinds of curveballs at all of us. So the greatest gift you could give yourself is, I believe, to make that decision and say life is too short to suffer. It doesn't matter what happens, you're going to find something in it to enjoy and appreciate.
You find what you're looking for. You want to get sad? Go read all the negative stuff. It's there, unlimited. You want to be happy? Go find all the free content around happiness, self-fulfillment, positivity. It's all there. You find what you're looking for.
I'm not an advocate of toxic positivity or rose-colored glasses necessarily, but I do believe that you get to choose the thing that you're going to go looking for. And if you can get up and say, I'm going to go out and find some evidence of a good day, the likelihood of you having one is just higher.
That gratitude allows me to have perspective at the end of the day, as opposed to focusing on all the horrible things or the bad stuff. It brings me back to perspective that my life is amazing, even if it's horrible. My life is amazing, even if it's the worst day ever and everything's against me. I lose all my money and something else bad happens. It's still incredible.
You focus so much on the negative that you forget all the positive. And then when you do think about the positive, you're not putting the energy in the positive like you put in the negative. I know how to talk negative just like you know how to talk negative, but it don't work. It don't help nobody. Because if I put my energy into something negative, automatically my body's gonna respond and I'm gonna start doing negative stuff. I was homeless too. My father wasn't in my life too. I've been in struggles too. But I've come to realize that
that when you think optimistically and you speak positively, you can speak those things which are not as though they were. You can say certain things out your mouth and make it happen.
Positive thinking is not about being delusional. Positive thinking is about learning how to take control of internal processes and understanding that that will shape your external environment. But it's about remaining in control of the internal landscape. It's about knowing that despite shifts in the external landscape, you're going to be okay.
This wave of betrayal, this wave of fear, this wave of grief, this wave of frustration, this wave of feeling stuck, this wave of feeling hopeless, it's temporary. It will come and it will go. And when you realize that emotions are temporary, it also gives you perspective to know that something better is coming.
One of my mentors, she had this business card that she used to give out to people. And it said that her greatest regret in life is trading in what she wanted in the bigger picture for what she wanted in that moment. And I always think about my life in that way of, is this what I want for the greater good, for my story to be, or am I acting at a place of desire? Am I acting at a place of wanting to change the way that I feel right now, knowing that that will hinder me? That's not really what I want. What place am I coming from?
Smart people like the idea of being cynical because it seems like you've considered all of the options. Only somebody that's a smooth-brained idiot would believe that things are going to go well, but it fails to recognize that your experience of your life is largely determined by the story that you tell yourself about it.
Well, I think it's the idea of going, look, you can change the way that you think about things. So I was thinking about things I can do this narrow bandwidth of things. My belief system, the assumptions I'd made about life. Well, you can get a job and you can work for someone. And after you get a job and you work for 40 years, you get a pension. And when you get the pension, I was on a conveyor belt. Sure. And suddenly I went, oh, I could believe anything. I could believe that I could do anything. I could believe that I could be the guy on the TV show telling jokes. And you can. What you believe dictates your life. You'll be the barrier. You'll be the thing that stops you.
Life itself is what we deem it.
That's exactly right. It is what we deem it. And so you have to be relentlessly protective of the information that you take in, the thoughts that occupy your mind, the people that you surround yourself with. Because all of those things are influence factors. Another Stoic philosopher once said that, when you leave your house and when you come back that night, you come back as a different man. You're never the same man coming back, right? Well, you're either coming back as a better human, more transcendent, more aware, more connected, or not.
So every single day for me, it starts at ground zero. I'm humble and I'm listening and my mind is open. And this is what I've seen and this is what I can tell you about. Everything that I look at, I try and look at from a humble perspective. And if you don't do that, it's going to be a problem.
Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How you see this thing is everything.
I just limited envy and jealousy, and I leaned into optimism and gratitude. If you're deeply unhappy, instead of blaming everyone else for it, put in the work to get out of it, because you can. I believe in people. I fucking believe in you.
How will you see the rest of your day? Because how you see the rest of your day will oftentimes determine the way you see the rest of your life.
Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up!
When are you going to realize that you got to get to a point and focus on the better things that are going to get you to the next level and beyond in your life?
Persistence, consistency, resilience, courage, establishing your priorities, mastering self-awareness, maintaining focus, believing that your help is coming. Because if your dream only requires you, it's not big enough.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places. If you develop your gifts, all you got to do is realize that it's up to you to make a difference in your life.
The only reason you're not the best right now is because you don't believe you're the best now. And when you walk out this room, I want you to go in and I'm the best right now. He said, before you even become number one, start to proclaim it and say it long before it happens. So there are those of you who want to mimic their behavior. It's not their behavior you need. It's their mindset that you need. It's the way they think is what you need. You need to start to believe.
You have something that you brought to the universe, and that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself, because part of beginning to get a larger vision of yourself, all of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that, and that you do that, and people know it.
I don't care what it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to give, how you're trying to evolve, what you are looking to become. Everything rises and falls on your perspective.
If you decide to maintain a sense of integrity with yourself, that if I speak it, I'm going to live it. It's who I am.
I know you hate the gym. I know you hate to lift weights. I know you hate cardio. I know you don't like drinking water. I know you don't like taking care of your temple. You think it's the hardest thing to do in the world to commit. But there is somebody who's in the grave today, and if they had another opportunity to live, they would enthusiastically, with great confidence and courage and consistency, do what you hate just to live a little longer. Find the positive, see the bigger picture, guard your gratitude.
What price are you willing to pay to make the dream a reality?
But just look forward. Look forward to the best of you. Look forward to the mistakes you may make. Look forward to the failures that may come your way. And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line. It's up to you to understand that you do matter and that you got some work to do.
I would rather you confront, fight, and fail than for you just to settle for the comfort of remaining the same. Change is tough, but change is possible for some of you. The world's not going to become easier all of a sudden. No, as you mature, you're going to have more responsibilities, more things that people expect out of you. But the truth is, you can do hard things. The truth is, as long as there's breath in your lungs, there's hope in your heart.
Ask yourself, what's my dream? What's my dream?
You think you're just here to work on a job, pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, a car note, and then die? Come on, give me a break. Raise the bar on yourself. Challenge yourself. Decide you're not going to be the same person. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to live an expanded vision of yourself. And you're going to go all in.
I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. You may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. Keep a no excuse mentality. Then the sky is not your limit. The sky is your starting point. I never get turned off. Every single day, I want my destiny. I want my dream.
You got to have this vision of yourself beyond your circumstances. You've got to see yourself every day. I can do this. I can make this happen. I'm blessed and highly favored. Good things are supposed to happen to me. You've got to see yourself every day and get out of your mind those old thoughts, that old belief system. Every day you've got to sell yourself on that it's possible. See, let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me.
We all want to do something. We all want to be somebody. We all want to go somewhere. If these things are going to happen, we've got to stop habitually gravitating to excuse. You've got a destiny to fulfill. You've got a purpose to walk into. You've got a test to pass. You've got dots to connect, rooms to walk in, stages to stand on, and tables to sit down at.
But you got to put a new mind in you. You got to get out of your mind. You got to begin to restructure your thinking.
I'm ready to do this for my family. I'm ready to do this for my mother. I'm ready to win for my father. I'm ready to make history and ready to do something that nobody ever thought I could do.
And we mistake the fact that we're supposed to be comfortable 24/7. Well, let me tell you something. Comfortable is equivalent to complacent.
It's not always about the accomplishment. It's about the effort.
I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done.
Who doubts you? I'm worried when you doubt you. Because when you doubt you, you can't get nothing done. When you doubt you, every little thing that gets in your way turns you back. When you doubt you, all of a sudden things just seem to be harder. But out of everybody who doubts you, you can't doubt you. You got to believe in you. You got to believe in your ability. You got to believe that you can win.
We get one opportunity to come this way. We get one shot. We got one life to live. Life is too short to make excuses.
So I just came to talk to the game changers and to the change agents who are willing to confront any part of you that's not speaking to your madly, wildly amazing future.
When somebody is in love with who they've been called to become, what they've been called to fulfill, what they've been destined to do, there is no day off.
I'm telling you, don't wait another moment. Don't wait another day. Don't wait another minute.
It's lonely. It's challenging. It requires discipline. It requires perseverance. It's a mindset. It's not over until I win.
People that make excuses are not connected to their destination. They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak,
link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream.
I am ready. Come on. I am ready. Come on, let me hear you. I am ready. One more time. I am ready.
The pen has always been in your hand. I say write a story that's going to be damn good to read.
And ask yourself, what's my dream?
What are you willing to do that you've never done before? What are you willing to say that you've never said before?
When you live like a warrior, you are vigilant, you are courageous, you take initiative, you're ambitious, you have an expanded vision of yourself. You're gonna take some chances on you. You're gonna bet on you. You don't settle for any and everything when you're a warrior. And you got to be in fight mode. You gotta be ready to fight. Life is a fight for territory. Once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over.
This is the year for reset. This is the year for restart. This is the year for reignite. This is the year for repeat the things that you love. This is the year for recommit. This is the year for redesign. This is the year for re-engage. This is the year for restart. This is that year.
Fight like a warrior and die a legend.
If you want to start to feel happy, it starts with you wanting to feel happy. We like to sit and dwell. We like to sit in our own sadness. Make sure you're spending time every single day, whether it's 15, 20 minutes, whether it's an hour, 2 hours. Take time to allow your mind separation from the stresses of your day. If you expect to fail, you will fail. On the other hand, if you expect to win, you will win. And he's right, because doctors and psychologists, both alike, they agree that worrying actually does shorten your life, and it does damage your body. We need to clear our thinking before we go to sleep. We're talking about a book that Norman Vincent Peale wrote, The Power of Positive Thinking. Let's kick this off with golden nugget number 1, creating your own inner happiness. You are responsible for your own happiness, because unhappiness is usually the byproduct of you thinking sad thoughts, you having these negative feelings, you having resentment towards others, and just having an overall crappy outlook on life. So if you think those things, what do you think is going to happen? You have to force yourself to not think those negative thoughts. Peale says we have to get into the happiness habit by thinking upbeat, cheery thoughts throughout the day. We like to sit and dwell. We like to sit in our own sadness. I don't like to do that, but I just know that sometimes my brain forces me to do that, and I don't know why. So I have to force myself to not do that. I have to put on upbeat music. I have to go do something productive. I have to get in the gym. I have to go hang around friends that are gonna make me laugh. And it's tough. At first, it doesn't feel right. It feels like you're forcing it because you are forcing it, but eventually it starts to make you feel better. There are miracles happening all around you. There is beauty all around you. Open your eyes and look. Can you see the sun shining? Great. Can you hear the birds chirping? Great. Can you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin? Awesome. There's simple beauties all around us. If you want to start to feel happy, it starts with you wanting to feel happy. So short circuit those negative thoughts. And when you start to feel bad, when you start to find yourself gossiping, feeling guilty, feeling angry, feeling whatever it is you're feeling that's negative, turn that around. Force yourself to think positively, do positive things. And while it doesn't feel right at first, keep going. You're on the right path. Golden nugget number 2, the antidote to anxiety. People waste a lot of their time, a lot of their energy fuming and fretting about things that they cannot control. Go back to Covey's principle. Circle of concern, circle of influence. Focus only on those things in the circle of influence. Everything else in the circle of concern, you can't control. You can't affect that. So move on. Don't allow your mind to just spend time in that space. You're wasting your mind's energy. So as part of this antidote to anxiety, Peele says that we need to slow down to relieve our anxiety and to attain peace. And he suggests meditation. He suggests that we devote at least 15 minutes daily to calming and relaxing ourselves by thinking peaceful thoughts or not thinking anything at all. So something he shares in the book is to help get rid of the tendency to worry and get angry, we need to relax and spend a few minutes thinking about beautiful, peaceful settings, hearing the birds chirping, feeling the sun on our face, all these things that I was talking about before, where it's just a matter of you actually thinking that in your mind. Wherever you are, if you're at work, if you're in your house, it doesn't matter. Close your eyes and open your mind to maybe a place where you were on vacation before. Then go there for 15 minutes. Smell the smells, feel what the sand feels like on your feet, feel yourself plunging into the ocean. So the antidote to anxiety, it's all about clearing your mind. However you choose to do that, make sure you're spending time every single day, whether it's 15, 20 minutes, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, if you're working out at the gym, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're going to cycling class, whatever, take time to allow your mind separation from the stresses of your day. Golden nugget number 3, expect the best. If you expect to fail, you will fail. On the other hand, if you expect to win, you will win. So, what seeds are you planting in your mind? Are you planting seeds of positivity or seeds of negativity? So what? Your life is going to give you back more of that. Are you planting seeds of, doubt and, I'm not going to make this work, or something bad is going to happen? If you're planting seeds of that, guess what you're going to get? More of that. Start focusing on the positive. Start focusing on how things can go right. And guess what? When things go wrong, say, there's a lesson in that for me. Because life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. So everything that's happening is there to teach me a lesson. This isn't a setback, it's a set up. Thing that's really bad, it happened for a reason. I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to get better. Golden nugget number 4, worry not. And he's right, because doctors and psychologists, both alike, they agree that worrying actually does shorten your life and it does damage your body. We need to clear our thinking before we go to sleep, and we need to imagine our worries flowing out of our body like water out of a glass. So don't think that my path is the right path. No. This path is good for me. I replaced worry with hope by putting together goals. I put together 3 goals: a financial related goal, a health related goal, and a professional related goal. Something that what I was going to do with my life. And back in the day when I was going through those stresses, I was worrying a lot. I was having a tough time sleeping. I was having chest pains. My heart was palpitating all the time. And I really just could not get, a high level of satisfaction in life. And, if you were saying on a scale of 1 to 8, Ryan, again, 9s and 10s are reserved for very special times in our lives that seldom happen. I was sitting at a 4 consistently, where I would wake up and I'd all of a sudden feel the stresses of the day. I would pass between 3 and 4 all the time. So what I did was to replace that worry, that anxiety, that fear. I built myself a plan that gave me hope, goals that gave me hope, something that got me excited, something that I wanted to work towards, something I wanted to achieve because I knew that if I did, it would get me out of this mess and my life would be better as a result. Golden nugget number 5, problem solving. I had problems that I needed solutions to. I had desires, I had wants, I had dreams, I had goals that I needed a solution to. The crap show was a solution. Create Your 8 was a solution. But what I did need to do was take myself out of the busyness of the day and allow my mind to sort of free up and look for inspiration all around me. And know that whatever solution I'm looking for, it's going to come to me. And this is where in this golden nugget in the book where Peele talks about, problem solving, he gives us 10 problem solving techniques, which many of them I believe with. The first one, believe that for every problem, there is a solution. So yes, believe that your problem can be solved. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, you don't have a solution right now, but there is a solution. And oftentimes there's more than one. 2, try to maintain your serenity as you address a problem. Don't feel anxious. Don't try to get angry and say, I'm not getting this. I don't understand. No. You need to be calm. You need to be hopeful that there's going to be a solution to this problem. Number 3, don't try to force an answer. Don't try to say like, oh my God, I need an answer by Saturday at noon. If I don't get it by Saturday at noon, then it's too late. Sometimes you can't force it. Life often happens for you. And so you just need time for that to reveal itself to you. Number 4, gather all relevant information. Pretty simple. Do as much research as possible. Number 5, write down all facts about the situation. Again, get understanding for the problem, what's going on. You need to get clarity on the problem so you can get clear on what solutions you need to solve it. Number 6, spend time praying about the issue you are confronting. Listen, if you're praying about it, that's fine. If you're not praying about it, maybe you're thinking about it. Always make time to think about it. When you're walking in nature, yes, take time to think in nature and allow your mind to flow. But when you separate yourself from the stresses, the anxieties, the busyness of the day, allow your time to think about solutions. Number 7, believe in and seek God's guidance on the promise of the 73rd Psalm, thou wilt guide me by thy counsel. If you believe in the religious aspect of that will talk to you. That necessarily doesn't talk to me. So I maybe won't be using that one. Number 8, rely on your inner gifts of insight and intuition. There's things that we believe we should do, and then there's things that we know we should be doing. So you got to listen to yourself, and it takes time. It does take time. It takes patience. It takes some maturity for you to realize what you're great at. And sometimes you're doing something just to make a living, just because it's my job, it's my career, it's what I believe I'm great at. But you have other gifts within you that maybe you're not exploring yet, that you should be. Number 9, attend religious services where you can and listen peacefully and let your subconscious work on the problem. And you can go to church or you can just go for walks. I love going for walks, period. I'll put music on my ears and allow myself to think. Pretty simple. Pretend the answer that develops in your mind or comes to pass is the right answer. So I just allowed the thoughts that came in my mind. Whenever I had a thought, an inspired thought, I wrote it down on my phone. Pulled up my phone, opened up the notepad, and just wrote it down. At the end of the day, I would think about it, ponder on it, say, you know what, this idea is something I want to go further into and dig deeper into that. That's exactly how this show happened. That's exactly how Create Your 8 happened. It's exactly how you're going to find solutions to your problems. Last but not least, golden nugget number 6, how to handle heartache. Now, everybody at some point in their life experiences heartache, and it's tough. And so Peel says that for us to get over heartache, we need to resist the heartache by staying busy. So if you're getting a divorce from your husband or your wife, if you just broke up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, if you just lost a loved one, if a loved one passed away, a friend, a family member, doesn't matter who it is. He says that in order for you to get through it, you need to stay busy. You need to return to your normal activities as soon as possible after a loss or a defeat. And you need to resist the temptation to brood and feel sorry for yourself. I got to get back to work. I got to get back to my goals, get back in the gym, get back to eating right, get back to hanging out with my friends, my family, listen to the music that I was listening to. We have to return to life. But sometimes we just have to be sad and we have to work our way through it. We're great at. And sometimes you're doing it yourself from the stresses, when you're walking in nature. Listen, if you're praying about it, that's fine. If you're not praying about it, maybe you're thinking about it. Always make time to think about it. When you're walking in nature, yes, take time to think in nature and allow your mind to flow. But when you separate yourself from the stresses, the anxieties, the busyness of the day, allow your time to think about solutions. Number 7, believe in and seek God's guidance on the promise of the 73rd Psalm, thou wilt guide me by thy counsel. If you believe in the religious aspect of that will talk to you. That necessarily doesn't talk to me. So I maybe won't be using that one. Number 8, rely on your inner gifts of insight and intuition. There's things that we believe we should do, and then there's things that we know we should be doing. So you got to listen to yourself, and it takes time. It does take time. It takes patience. It takes some maturity for you to realize what you're great at. And sometimes you're doing something just to make a living, just because it's my job, it's my career, it's what I believe I'm great at. But you have other gifts within you that maybe you're not exploring yet, that you should be. Number 9, attend religious services where you can and listen peacefully and let your subconscious work on the problem. And you can go to church or you can just go for walks. I love going for walks, period. I'll put music on my ears and allow myself to think. Pretty simple. Pretend the answer that develops in your mind or comes to pass is the right answer. So I just allowed the thoughts that came in my mind. Whenever I had a thought, an inspired thought, I wrote it down on my phone. Pulled up my phone, opened up the notepad, and just wrote it down. At the end of the day, I would think about it, ponder on it, say, you know what, this idea is something I want to go further into and dig deeper into that. That's exactly how this show happened. That's exactly how Create Your 8 happened. It's exactly how you're going to find solutions to your problems. Last but not least, golden nugget number 6, how to handle heartache. Now, everybody at some point in their life experiences heartache, and it's tough. And so Peel says that for us to get over heartache, we need to resist the heartache by staying busy. So if you're getting a divorce from your husband or your wife, if you just broke up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, if you just lost a loved one, if a loved one passed away, a friend, a family member, doesn't matter who it is. He says that in order for you to get through it, you need to stay busy. You need to return to your normal activities as soon as possible after a loss or a defeat. And you need to resist the temptation to brood and feel sorry for yourself. I gotta get back to work. I gotta get back to my goals, get back in the gym, get back to eating right, get back to hanging out with my friends, my family, listening to the music that I was listening to. We have to return to life. But sometimes we just have to be sad and we have to work our way through it. But the key here is to not allow your mind to dwell on it for too long. That's not handling heartache. That's allowing heartache to take control of you and to win.
I like to think about it as this. You can be two things at once. You can be jealous of somebody, and you can also allow that to inspire you at the same time. You can be afraid, which is true, and you can still find the willpower to push yourself or discipline to push yourself forward. Human beings are very complex, and when you start to understand you're not just one thing, it gives you freedom to ride the waves of feelings, to ride the waves of experience, and to kind of go down and go, oh, this is a terrible thing, and know that you will be able to come out the other side of it.
Every single good thing that happens in our lives, everything, comes at a cost. There's nothing for free. Somebody with an incredible career has no relationship with their kids. Everything comes at a cost, but at the same time, everything we struggle with has opportunity and lesson that goes with it. It's always balanced. And when something horrible happens in someone's life or something goes sideways, I always ask, but what did you learn?
Life is about the pain of being alive. And when you know that, I find that very helpful to me. When I come back to that, I'm like, I'm struggling, I'm disappointed here, I wish this outcome had been different. But when I can come back to like, oh, but that's what life's all about. So what do I do now? You breathe it, you experience it, and then you move on and you heal in the doing.
You've got to learn to be more resilient about these things because that is life. It's not a bed of roses. Life is tough.
And there's just a part of you, I think, in anything you're doing when you're struggling, is this really for me? Is this my destiny? Should I be doing this? And we misread failure from some sign. You know, is this a sign I shouldn't be doing it? You know, is this a sign I am, not cut out for this? Instead of looking for signs that you can win, right? And so I spent the first 5 years literally trying to find ways to quit, trying to find ways to get out, struggling. And I went broke. I lost a car. I had the water turned off in my place. People don't realize that there were just years and years of grinding and struggling and worrying in the beginning. And then I made some mental changes and some shifts that altered my life then again.
I think you can win. I'm positive you can win. You just need to start changing your mindset. It means that you need to look at yourself and figure out who you are. What are you good at? What do you like? How are you going to get to the place that you want to get to?
Success is waiting for you. Winning is waiting for you. Achievement is waiting for you because you are a winner. You are focused. You are determined. You are a fighter.
One of the hardest things, which became one of the greatest realizations, is truly coming face to face with myself and realizing that even though I have done extraordinary things in terms of my own thinking patterns, that there was a level to which I was still on the run, that I was darting off to a coffee shop or darting off to an airplane, and all of this racing around kept me from having to truly stop and stand with the woman in the mirror and just be still and figure out, well, what do I really want?
You're a person, you're human, you're alive, and you matter.
Life is so short. Your existence is temporary. It won't last forever. But are you ready? Are you ready to take on the unknown? Are you prepared for it? Are you ready to succeed? Are you prepared to move forward? How much are you willing to give of yourself? And are you ready to fight for it? The truth is, you are going to be broken over and over again. But don't you dare give up on you. Do something with your life today. Don't wait. Just go. Don't sit still. Just move. I'm hurting, but I gotta keep moving. It's okay. We all get scared. We all get pushed down. But we know that we got to get up, because staying down doesn't get the job done. Don't be afraid to be honest. Don't be afraid to be truthful. Don't be afraid to be different. We are unique. We are special. We are all destined for greatness. So you got to do the work now. You got to make the necessary sacrifices. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to stop waiting and start doing. But you ain't got the right to give up. You don't have the right to quit. I want you to keep living. And I want you to keep looking up. And don't look down. Life is so short. Life, how beautiful it is.
True desire in the heart. That itch that you have to be whatever it is you want to be, that itch, that desire for good is God's proof to you, sent already to indicate that it's yours. You already have it. Claim it.
Disciplined desire, whether one can curb it, is a deeper question altogether, which is, what do you desire? What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like?
Most people allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed.
If you have this burning desire inside of you, and you'll know what that feels like if you have it, you just need to go full force, block out all the negativity and everything else that is around you telling you that you can't do it.
What do you believe you've been destined to do? What talents, skills, giftings, and abilities do you possess to support your desire to do it?
You could literally go accomplish anything in your life if you have this extraordinary desire to achieve them.
But here's something I do know. Sometimes desire waits for a trigger, waits for something to happen. Who knows what the happening may be? A song, the lyrics, a movie, the dialogue, a seminar, a sermon, a book, an experience, confrontation with an enemy. Whatever the experience it is, it's so valuable.
You have to electrify the desire that you have.
Only you know what you want. Listen to me. Only you know what you are capable of doing. Only you know what you dream about. Only you know what the next level is for you. If you want to be what you want to be, have what you want to have, do what you want to do, man, you got to have that desire.
You against you. I'm letting you know that you got to make the opportunity happen. You got to be fired up. You got to be hungry for it. You got to have the desire to push yourself.
It comes from not talking about I want it. It comes from having this desire, knowing that I got an opportunity. Every day I wake up, I got a chance to make my dreams become reality.
If you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
If you can find something that you have an innate ability for, and we love doing things we have an innate ability for, right? Have an innate talent, it's in our DNA for. And then go, now I'm ready to educate myself, learn, hustle, go after, see, create opportunities, bam, bam. It's gonna be in the prism of how I measure every situation where I am going forward. Hunt it down and do what you gotta do to get better at it. And then if it's hopefully something that the world can demand,
Right, that's a sweet spot.
Now you're paying your rent, man. Now we got food on the table. Now we're rolling. Now we're waking up with some purpose. Now we're waking up with, yeah, it's gonna be a hard day today, but I'm not dreading Monday morning. Maybe want to sleep in, but I'm building something here. I'm in construction.
You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
It's like if you want to have everything you could possibly want and more, then be a good person. The better a person you are, the more likely that is to happen. There's no better strategy.
Don't just do it for the money. You can make a lot of money. When you find something that you love, you will study it. Something that you love that becomes a difference between being in speaking and speaking being in you, that you will become not just confident, but you will become competent on that.
Visualization is a gift to your heart and your soul. It's a gift. Because if the idea is the seed, visualization is the fertilizer.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
Take everything away, and then what is it that you see in the mirror? Do you see there is the loving heart inside? There is the strength or the willpower inside this body. There is the discipline inside this body. There is a loyal person standing. There is pride inside of this.
And no, you're not famous, and no, it's not. Before you were ever an actor. What are you? What were you? Before you were McConaughey, before you were a Texan, before you were an American, before you were an actor, before you were a movie star, before you were a celebrity. Well, come on, get it all off. And it was a purge. You're the only son of can't get rid of. So, we're gonna duke it out for the rest of our life here, or we're gonna figure out how to get along.
You believe, we know from the science and we know from experience that if I exercise, it's a process and it's good for me, even though I can't measure it in the short term. And if I eat well and I keep doing that, I know it'll keep me healthy for the long term. I'll eat more leafy greens and less sugar. I know I just have to stick to this process that 100% of the time, it works. How long does it take to get into shape when you start exercising? Nobody knows. Right. Neither does any doctor. Sometimes a little less time for some people and sometimes a little more time for others. Like, We don't know. We just know 100% that it works. And so I had to get used to the idea professionally that I'm going to do things that I know work, but I won't be able to measure them. And I just have to be okay with the fact that it works, like exercise, like eating right. And so that's where, learning an infinite mindset and letting go of annual goals. So people are like, what's your annual goal? I don't have any because I can't predict what I'm going to achieve based on arbitrary timelines.
And it's real important in the visualization. You can't see it over there. You have to see it right here.
Feel it.
You got to feel it right here. Like I am. It's all I am. I am. I am in my dream home. I am in my dream relationship. And then unpack what that looks like. But most importantly, unpack what it feels like. And when you have that emotion in this moment, all of a sudden you stir up something that I don't think will ever go back to sleep. It'll go, okay, let's go get that.
Develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. You have greatness in you, that you have the ability to do more than you could ever begin to imagine. You have greatness in you. There's a presence in each and every one of us that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only God you will ever have or hear. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. When you recognize your greatness, no one will ever pull your strings. You are different. You were created on purpose with a purpose to manifest that purpose through you. But you will never exercise authority and dominion over your life until you exercise authority and dominion over what you are not.
Abundance is just about overflow. It's about overflow. That means that if there were a saucer under this cup, abundance would be everything. This tea flows over into the saucer, and I can feed you from my saucer because I have filled my cup up enough. I use my cup for me, and I feed you from my saucer. And abundance is saying, I have a saucer in my relationships filled with great experiences. There's a saucer in my health and wellness. I have so much bountiful health and vitality that I can show up for you. There's a saucer with my spirituality that I can pray for you. I can forgive the perceivingly unforgivable and love the perceivingly unlovable. And then there's a saucer for my finances. And that in every area, because abundance is a 360 experience. See, wealth is singularly focused. Wealth is about your money and your possessions. That's wealth. Okay? But abundance is 360. I have a lot of very, very wealthy friends. They're wealthy, they're not abundant.
Your ability to put something into your own mind where nobody else has impact on, and only you know that day in, day out, you just still walk this path and feel for yourself how it's getting real, because it's unbroken, because there's nobody who can interfere.
Make that dash dance. Make it rock this planet. Make it unapologetic. Take no prisoners. Play full out. If you're gonna run fast, run hard, even at the risk of hitting the wall. Make it dash dance. Greatness is about being willing to be used to your highest level of possibility, even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's unpopular, even when you're alone, even when it's inconveniencing, you're still willing to lead.
Good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times. My whole thing is leaders anticipate, losers react. If you can anticipate what's coming, you can really take advantage. If you wait till it hits you, you're in trouble. The biggest problem people have is they think they're not supposed to have any. Problems are the fuel for growth. It's like if you don't have any problems, you're either a liar or you might call them challenges. It feels better. I understand that. Anybody who doesn't have problems is either totally asleep at the wheel or they don't have much of any kind of a life. But then there's fulfillment. And fulfillment is living what you're made for. Is it a lack of confidence? No, it's a lack of mission. I like winning. I like being the best at what I do. So I'm not going to settle for less than that. Why would I? Michael Jordan making 1,000 shots before you take a break. So you look at Jordan, or you look at, LeBron, or you look at anybody who's the best in the world at what they do, and you go, aren't they lucky? But if you actually study them, you'll see they're doing things, they're practicing in private things that make them certain in public, and they get rewarded for what they do in public.
Yeah.
And you got to do the same.
When you just know you're going to mess up, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to forget that line that you really wanted to say, but just put all the energy on the audience. Everything starts to change. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
It's a shift in your identity. Every single day, 6 days a week. What matters? A few subjects, your body, because your energy matters. That energy is low. Everything I just said is worthless to you. Because when you're low energy, you don't use your full intelligence or ability. You need emotion. If you don't know how to master your emotions start wars. Emotion creates peace. Emotion gets you children. Emotion is what can make that business work or fail. And most people don't know how to direct their own emotions. Let me be conscious about feeding my brain things that are going to give me not only inspiration, but insight and skill and tools. 68% of the Fortune 1000 were started in either a recession or a depression. Well, the first skill you got to master to be great is the ability to recognize patterns. When humanity recognized the pattern of the seasons, the whole world changed. Because we went from hunter-gatherers trying to survive from place to place where we're exposed to everything, to wait a second, if we plant in the springtime, we protect in the summer, we reap in the fall, and then we hang on to some of that so we can live through the winter. That created communities for the first time, and then eventually cities and states and countries. So that changed the world. What will change a person's life is when you realize there's also a set of seasons in your own life.
It's time for you to recognize your talents, your gifts, the mark that you want to leave on this earth as you go to places that maybe you've not been before. You see, leaders know the importance of getting uncomfortable. They know that nothing grows in their comfort zone. You are prepared to rise up and be the person that you want to follow. Leaders know how to lead their own ship, their own vessel, in the direction that matters to them. Very few people dream of where they're going. And better yet, get other people to follow in their dream. To get the best out of you and the best out of people you lead, it's essential to realize your burning desire, who you want to become, what you want to achieve, and recognizing that every single thing that you do every day, you're writing your future. Take a moment to imagine that you can see an image of yourself in the future. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years. It's you being even better than you are today. It's you who's practiced doing what you need to do each and every single day. It's you healthier, stronger, more confident. Look at the person you have become and recognize this is your destiny. Feel what it feels like to have put the work in, to have developed yourself. You are the leader. You are the master of your own life. It's time to rise up and inspire yourself. Be the better version of yourself today. You can be your very best every single day.
It's like people want change more than they want to change. For those of you who want to change, you don't have to be wired. You're already wired to be critical. You're already wired to peep out flaws. You're already wired to do it. What you need to do is take that same energy and apply it to yourself. You have to go intentional and deliberate. How many times do I criticize others versus how many times I criticize myself? How many times do I try to correct others? How many times do I correct myself? If it don't drive you, don't want that. So whatever it is you see that you don't have, if it drives you, go, I want that. And then you got to change. But you can't say you want that and you don't want change. Anytime you want anything you don't have, you have to do something to get that, because if you were the person that could have it, you'd already have it. You'd have it already. You don't have it, and so you want it. So you have to become something different. You didn't have that, but you went after it.
Be clear. What do you want? What do you want specifically? Like, you need to be clear on what you want. And I was willing to go through whatever I had to go through to get what I wanted. I knew what I had. That's not what I wanted. It doesn't matter how I'm living right now, because how I'm gonna live.
You know I've always been a dreamer, and it's so hard to change. But the dreams that I've seen lately keep on turning out the same. Take it to the
People who train every day don't want to train every day. They are not motivated to train every day. They are something else. Motivation is the wrong word. They are not motivated. They are disciplined.
Andrew.
Disciplined.